A rubber match on a Thursday night from Bosse Field as the Windy City Thunderbolts take on the Evansville Otters from the Pocket City. Good evening, everyone. Griffin Epstein alongside Lucas Daunhauer, our director on Flow Sports. Austin Hernandez, another beautiful night for baseball. The Otters and the Thunderbolts set up for a rubber match after the Otters took the opener on Tuesday. The Thunderbolts bounced back for the rarest of rare occurrences in professional baseball, a walk-off as the road team in the sudden death 11th inning yesterday. Wild back and forth one yesterday, Lucas. Windy City ended up coming out on top for a much-needed victory. They're trying to win their third series in a row if they can win today.
Yeah, their bats have really come to life, a team that struggled so much at the plate early on in the season, but 18 hits in 2 games here at Bosse Field. They've felt more than at home, and as we saw last night, a really exciting game went into the 11th inning. The new last year Frontier League rules coming into play, and Andy McCulley opting to put the confidence in Tyler Vale on the mound, but a really gutsy performance by both teams ends with a walk-off hit by Junior Martina.
So Windy City 8-10 on the year, Evansville 11-6. Otters hoping to win their 4th series in the Frontier League this season and keep things rolling at home after their 7-game win streak ended yesterday. Let's meet the starting lineups. We'll start with the Otters, leading off Noah Myers, the left fielder. Batting second, Ethan Skinder, the second baseman. Dakota Phillips bats third and catches. Jeffrey Baez in the cleanup spot and playing right field. Kona Quiggle is the center fielder, batting fifth. Omar Reyes bats sixth and plays third base. Bottom 3 in the lineup, Jacob Olson plays first base. Justin Felix at the DH spot, and Kelvin Melion, the shortstop, making his third straight start to start his Otters career. We'll break for the national anthem. We'll be right back with first pitch on the other side. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and watching on Flow Sports. Almost set for first pitch here from the River City. Rubber match between the Otters and the Thunderbolts. The Thunderbolts starting lineup today. Junior Martina, the hero from yesterday, the walk-off man for the Thunderbolts. Third baseman leads off. Brent Spillane, center fielder, bats second. Peyton Isaacson bats third and plays third base. Mikey Onamina in the cleanup spot and playing DH. Dan Robinson bats fifth and plays left. Carson Matthews batting sixth and playing shortstop. Bottom three in the lineup, Will Riley at second. Jonathan Waite catching, and Paul Kumalos, the right fielder, batting ninth for Windy City. So on the bump today for the Otters, it's Zach Smith. He has been lights out to start the season for the Otters in 20 innings pitched through 3 starts. He's allowed just 1 earned run. He's been one of the best pitchers in all the Frontier League, Lucas.
Yeah, no doubt. Started off with such a good performance to get the Otters their only win of the series against that really tough Wild Things team, and then he's hasn't turned back ever since. Got another win in 8 innings pitched against the Eagles, and really a good performance in Canada as well. Just a game that kind of got out of the hands of the Otters bullpen, but he's been so solid this year. The Texas native been really impressive for Max Peterson and company.
Second best ERA of qualifying pitchers in the Frontier League. It's been borderline dominant this season. 17 strikeouts to just 4 walks, and just a total of 13 hits allowed in those 20 innings. He's ready on the bump, fires home to Junior Martina, and we're underway here at Bosse Field. Sunny skies here at Bosse Field. Smith having to stare right into the sun as the 1-0 is found straight back, 1-1. 87 degrees with some humidity, making it feel even hotter today in the low 90s. Had some thunderstorms in the area, a little bit of rain earlier this afternoon, but that's cleared up, and only a few light fluffy clouds out in the distance. The 1-1 swing and a miss by Martina, 1-2. Most of the infield in the sun, including the mound, but the shadows start right at the base of the mound and on the lower half of the infield, including home plate. So the ball starting in the sun and then quickly heading into the shadows. 1-2 from Smith is found straight back. Otters took game number 1 of this series 10-3, using some big late innings to pull away. A 5-run 6th, 3-run 7th made it a lopsided score. And then yesterday's back and forth thriller with Windy City winning in the sudden death extra inning as Martina grounds one up the middle. Charging hard as the shortstop. Melion throws to first in time. There's one away. Speaking of the Evansville's fielders around the diamond today, Dakota Phillips is catching for the Otters. Jacob Olsen at first, Ethan Skinder at second, Kelvin Melion at short, and Omar Reyes at third. In the outfield, Noah Myers in left, Kona Quiggle in center, and Jeffrey Baez in right. Skinder and Quiggle both back in the starting lineup after a day off yesterday for the Otters. Bring up Brent Spillane, the center fielder, with 1 out and nobody on here in the top of the first. First pitch to Spillane, missing inside for a ball, 1-0.
And no Brian Rosario in the lineup tonight, coming off of 5 stolen bases in the last 2 games.
Yeah, a little bit surprising. It felt like it's hard to keep him out of the lineup for what he's been doing right now, as Spillane takes a strike on the outside corner, 1-1. But Rosario, after the first weekend of the season, did not start a lot for the Otters. Had a slow start with his bat. Didn't have any hits last night, but still a run and 3 stolen bases, and leading the Frontier League with 20 as the 1-1 is outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Smith looking for his 3rd win of the season and continue to impress the Frontier League as one of the best starting pitchers in the league. He's facing the worst offense in the Frontier League statistically. The 2-1, Spillane chops one right at Melion, reaches up the glove and snares it. 2 away, a line drive right at the shortstop, who's smartly wearing shades as he stares into the sun. 2 away. This brings up Peyton Isaacson, the first baseman, with 2 outs and nobody on here in the top of the first. First baseman batting lefty for the Thunderbolts. Was 1 for 4 yesterday with a walk. He's also wearing sunglasses, and he takes the first pitch on the inside corner from Smith. 92 miles per hour. Smith winds and throws. It's high and away, 1-1. Smith is shown length, he's shown control, he's shown getting outs, he's shown avoiding any damage. Only a run given up was a solo home run against Quebec in the 6th inning. He went 8 innings against Trois-Rivières in his last start here at Bosse. As Isaacson fouls one off left side. He's just been incredibly steady and calm on the mound, and pitching, no doubt, the best baseball of his life.
Just has a really calming presence on the mound. Feel like there's so much confidence in him, and rightfully so.
1-2 pitch is high and wide. 2-2 to Isaacson. Two gray chains dangling out on top of the white jersey of Smith this evening. All whites for the Otters today, with white jerseys and white pants. The pants hiked up to the knees today for Smith. The 2-2, a high chopper over the head of Smith. Charging as the second baseman, Skinder throws to first in time for the 3rd out of the inning. Good play by Skinder on a high chopper, and Smith sends him down in order in the top of the 1st. And to the bottom half of the inning, we'll see the Otters bats for the first time on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports. Back at Bosse Field for the bottom of the 1st inning, as we'll see Windy City's lefty starter for the night for the first time. It's Kenny Matthews, lefty from California. He's making his 3rd start of the season. Off to a slow start this year, especially in his last 2 outings, allowing 5 earned runs in each of his last 2 outings. But a guy that's been an experienced pro in the Frontier League in his 4th year with the Thunderbolts.
That's right. Had his best season with the Thunderbolts last year in 2022 at a 7-3 record with a 3.17 ERA to go along with it. And you mentioned all that experience he brings. Also was in the Cleveland affiliated organization from 2013 to 2016, mainly pitching in rookie ball and single A levels, but brings a lot of experience to the mound and just trying to find his groove here this year.
Around him on the diamond today for Windy City, Jonathan Waite catching, Peyton Isaacson at first, Will Riley at second, Carson Matthews at short, and Junior Martina at the hot corner. Outfield, Dan Robinson in left, Brent Spillane in center, and Paul Kumalos in right. 4th start of the season for Matthews. Had a really good first outing, didn't allow a run in 5 2/3 at home against Schaumburg, but not good, as we mentioned, since, with 9 combined runs allowed in his last 2 starts. His first pitch to the lefty Noah Myers, in for a strike to start things off here in the bottom of the 1st. Far right side of the rubber, Matthews comes home. It's at the knees, 0-2. Noah Myers trying to continue his excellent start to the season, as the 0-2 is fouled off and he stays alive. Myers has reached 9 times as the leadoff batter in the 1st inning this year for the Otters.
Yeah, he's been such a big tool, and the Otters have faced their fair share of left-handed pitching, and the left-handed Myers actually hits better off left-handed pitching than righties. He's batting .316 when he faces a southpaw this year. Pretty impressive.
Comes the 0-2 to Myers. He chops it foul again. Myers off to a great start in this series as well. 5 hits over the 2 games. He had 5 RBIs on Tuesday, including a 3-run home run. Pitch is a beautiful front door slider that catches the inside corner to the lefty Myers. Rarely do you see Myers left looking. He's got an excellent eye. Matthews with too good a pitch there, 1 away. So bring up Ethan Skinder with one out here in the bottom of the first in a scoreless ball game. Windy City in their same jerseys last 2 years, all grays. Matthews fires home, pitches high to Skinder, 1-0. Windy City red and blue across the chest with black caps, WC logo on the front. 1-0 pitch, missing inside, 2-0 to Skinder, who's back in the lineup today after a day off yesterday. Matthews kicks and throws. Skinder slaps one right to the third baseman Martina. Gloves it to first in time to beat Skinder by a stride. 2 away. So we'll bring up the catcher Dakota Phillips with 2 outs and nobody on. Here in the bottom of the first at Bosse Field, just underway. A rubber match between the Otters and the Thunderbolts. This is just the second rubber match of the season for the Otters. They've done so much winning that they've been in position to sweep almost every single series they've played in since the opening rubber match they played against Washington, as Phillips takes a first pitch strike and then had to fight off avoiding being swept on Sunday against Quebec after dropping the first 2. Here's the 0-1, swing and a miss. 0-2. So the Otters just 0-1 in rubber matches this season, trying to win their 5th series in 7 tries. Matthews kicks and throws. Another slider outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's a hot one. Phillips takes off the helmet and rubs his forearms along his head. Matthews kicks and throws. Phillips swings and misses. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Kenny Matthews, and both teams go down in order in the first. We're scoreless on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
And it's sack race time. Some more competitors out on the field. Another 3-pack interest. Allison Peter. See who the best sack compliment guy is tonight. Courtesy of Razor Shepherd Insurance. If you're ready, get set and go. The winner's got some cool prizes. Head your way courtesy of Shepherd Insurance. And right there, just like that, there is your winner. Shepherd Insurance is the one-stop shop for all your commercial, personal benefits, and financial insurance. Creating relationships, finding solutions, protecting you. Shepherd Insurance.
To the top of the second inning from Bosse Field. Still looking for our first base runner. And you're watching Frontier League Baseball on Flow Sports, brought to you by Working Distributors. Scoreless in this rubber match between the Otters and the Thunderbolts, as Evansville just wrapping up this quick 3-game series at home before the Otters hit the road this weekend up north to Chicago to Joliet. First time they'll face the Slammers this year is Mikey Yonamina. The new batter takes a first pitch outside. Ready DH. Pitching Smith, who worked the Thunderbolts in order in the first. Swing and a miss. 1-1 to the Honolulu native. Zach Smith pitching statistically, no doubt, his best baseball of his career. Comes the 1-1 from Smith. Yonamine chops one. Left side, diving as Melion ball falls out of his glove and just sits on the dirt. And it'll be an infield base hit for Yonamine.
Yeah, and Micah needed that to get things going. Went 0 for 5 last night. Hasn't been all that successful at the plate early on in the season. 214 batting average. At that point, you take him any way they could come, and he put solid contact on the ball, and you make the defense make a play out there.
So Yonamine aboard. Leadoff runner will bring up another lefty batter, left fielder Dan Robinson to face Smith. Smith on the right side of the rubber, kicks and throws, pitches low to Robinson. This is Smith's third team in Indy ball and his third third independent ball league as well. Second year in Evansville, but played most of the last year with the Missoula Paddleheads in the Pioneer League in Montana. The 1-0 sails outside, 2 balls and no strikes. This is a sidebar, but their logo is fantastic.
I'll have to take a look.
It's a bear going down a river in a donut tube.
Oh, wow. Might have to find a ball cap then.
Well worth it. The 2-0 pitch is fouled straight back, 2-1. But with the Paddleheads, it was out of the pen for Smith, and he didn't have a lot of success out of the bullpen. 32 appearances coming out of the pen, a 7.88 ERA. Started his career with the Lancaster Barnstormers in the Atlantic League on the East Coast. Made 11 starts there, but also not a great ERA. The 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss on a breaking ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's really been until finished the year well with the Otters. 3.86 ERA, 3 starts, 5 appearances out of the pen. But this has easily been his best stretch of baseball in professional baseball, Smith's career. Not even close. The 2-2, swing and a miss. Robinson made look silly, golfing at one. The first strikeout of the evening for Zach Smith.
And that command that you see right there is a huge factor why he's had so much confidence and just calmness, as we said. He's a presence on the mound. Only 4 walks this year. He's been able to limit that. Just commanding his fastball and his breaking ball so well and able to work them both in equally.
First pitch to Carson Matthews as a bunt popped up. 1-ups to Reyes. He'll throw to second for the force out. A strange play on a 5-4 fielder's choice. The Otters get the second out. Matthews popped up the bunt. Reyes running in just played it off a hop and had the play to throw at Yonamine at second. So Matthews will take first, but there's now 2 away here in the second.
Yeah, such good awareness there by Reyes. A ball that was popped up a little bit, so that froze Yonamine about halfway to second base. He couldn't fully run in case it was caught in the air, and really good awareness to get the force out at second.
It's Will Riley now. Lefty batter takes the first pitch outside for a ball. Second baseman in just his 3rd game of the season. 2nd game of the season, make it 0 for 4. Smith on the right side, winds and throws. Outside corner for a strike to Riley, 1-1. Smith's kind of a journeyman too, from playing for 3 different schools in his collegiate career. Started at junior college at Blinn Junior College in Texas, in his home state. A year at D1 Central Arkansas. This comes the 1-1. Well outside, Phillips out of his crouch to get it, 2-1. And then finished his career with 2 years at Southern Arkansas, certainly where he was most successful. Made 20 starts, including over the COVID-shortened 2020 season. 112 strikeouts and a 9-2 record. D2 school. 2-1, breaking ball on the outside corner, 2-2. He was their Friday night starter, had the best ERA up in the mid-4s, but nowhere near this level of dominance that he's had through 4 games, allowing just 1 earned run in 20 innings pitched. Time is called by Riley to reset. 2-2 count with 2 outs and a runner aboard here in the top of the second. We're scoreless. Katy, Texas native. High set, looks in, winds and throws, and it's fouled off by Riley. Just a piece of a breaking ball down in the dirt.
Don't see any beers sitting along the railing by the netting tonight. We had a big spill last night on a on a passed ball that poured all over a small child, unfortunately.
I heard the splash zone was pretty large. It got a lot of fans, I was told after the game. It was quite an explosion. The 2-2 is high. Runner goes. Throw down to second is a good one, but Melion made the tag, they're saying. Wow.
It's a really impressive tag.
Melion was racing over from short to make the play, slid in, caught the ball, and just barely nipped Matthews for the third out. I didn't think he got him. Wow. What a tag from Melion. Good throw from Phillips on the money. And the throw out of Carson Matthews ends the inning. We're scoreless as we go to the bottom of the second. The Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Check out the Heritage Video Board for a Play It Again Sports replay. You saw the video board, that means you saw the Heritage Video Board. Follow along with all of our video board action tonight, and be sure to visit heritagefederal.org for all of your banking needs. Leading off for the Evansville Otters, batting fourth, the right fielder, number 32.
Scoreless as we go to the bottom of the second on a lovely Thursday evening here in Evansville. Jeffrey Baez leads things off for the Otters. Really big crowd on this Thursday night here at Bosse Field. It's YMCA night at the ballpark, which is awesome to see. I've been told we might have a performance of the YMCA later on in the evening. Jeffrey Baez leads things on for the Otters in the bottom of the second. Swings and misses at the first pitch he sees. I'm a sucker, what can I say, for the YMCA? I'm a big fan, both of the gym and the song. The 0-1 sails high, 1 ball and 1 strike.
It's an all-time classic song for sure, and Evansville actually just a couple years ago has a brand new beautiful YMCA downtown.
The 1-1 pitch is fouled off, 1-2. The YMCAs have done great jobs across the country with a lot of new and updated ones, especially in more rural areas.
What a brand they've built, huh?
The song helps too, right? The 1-2, Baez swings, pops it up into shallow center, and the catch is made by Spillane. He was barely moving. Where's the ball? He was kind of blinded by the sun for a minute. A few steps in, and that was enough for the out. Someone started ringing their cowbell like they thought it was a hit.
Yeah, the sun beaming off the roof at Bosse Field at this time of night can certainly make a play like that much harder than you'd imagine.
The heat is not helping either. It is really hot in the sun today. Quiggle takes the first pitch inside, 1 ball and no strikes. Scorching day, hottest day of the year on this first day of June. If it wasn't officially summer at the beginning of the week, it is now. Quiggle fouls one away left side and out of play, 1-1. Some Kona ice might cool things down for the Otter fans here, with Quiggle back on the starting lineup after a day off yesterday. Came in a pinch run for the Otters in the 8th and scored the tying run as Quiggle takes inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. He then struck out when he came up in his 1 at bat in the 10th. kick and a throw. Quiggle takes inside. 3 balls and 1 strike. I got the chance finally to ask Kona last week on the road trip, what is he named after? Is it Kona Ice? Is it Hawaii? Is it the beer? It's actually none of those. As here comes the 3-1. He swings, fouls it away, out of play behind home plate. It is Kona Bikes that he's named after, the bike company, which is based in the Pacific Northwest, and his dad loved riding Kona bikes. It's a mountain bike primarily. So his dad decided to go with it. The 3-2, chopped right side and foul. Native of Phoenix. There's a lot of great mountain biking in Phoenix. So
There is. I actually have gone biking in Arizona. It's very, very nice.
Got to do it in the winter, not the summer. But that's the origin of Kona, and it's certainly one of the great names in the Frontier League. The 3-2 is swung on, driven high in the air to right. Back Kumalos at the track. It is off the wall. Quiggle hustling around to third. Here comes the throw. It is well late. Quiggle a triple off the right field wall. Off the Corona patio side, a tough play for Kumalos fighting the sun in a flying baseball, and it took a while to retrieve it as well. Quiggle using his wheels for his second triple of the season.
Yeah, and a ball at the very bottom of the zone. He goes down and gets it. Absolutely gets into one to right field. Would have been a tough play for Kumalos to make, regardless with the sun out there, but a stand-up triple. And how about that for Kona Ice?
Now it's Omar Reyes who fouls one off and bouncing into the seats. It was called Big Wave back in Reyes' last stop, or Quiggle's last stop, which was in Idaho with the Idaho Falls Chuckers. Reyes swings, drives one into center. It's down for a hit. Diving is Spillane, bounces over his head. Quiggle scores from second, and Reyes into second base. 1-0 Honors in the bottom of the second. Evansville has scored for the first time for the 16th consecutive game.
And we mentioned how successful Noah Myers as a righty or a lefty is against left-handed hitting, but Omar Reyes there with that RBI double is now 11 for 17 on the season against left-handed hitters. Absolutely incredible statistic, batting well over 500. I mean, he just picks up the ball so well out of the hands of a lefty. It's almost automatic.
Spillane dived out there and probably gave Reyes an extra base as he couldn't get to the baseballs. Olsen takes a first pitch strike. Randy batter here for the Otters as they lead 1-0 now. The triple by Quiggle and a double they're going to give to Reyes. I'm not giving him a base hit in advance to second, but they'll give him a double. So Olsen chops one foul, 0-2. His streak is going to come to an end at some point, but it's pretty incredible. 16 straight games the Otters have scored first. A lot of them have happened in the first inning, but it's not just been the first. It's been second or third inning. The Otters, that'd be another stat maybe on the bus ride tomorrow to find. When is the latest that the Otters have scored in a game? This season, obviously they were shut out the first game of the year. Olsen swings, pops one up into center, and it falls and beats one of 3 Thunderbolts. Reyes goes to third, a bloop base hit for Olsen on a perfectly placed baseball in no man's land. Spillane came in, Matthews and Riley came out, and no one could get there in time.
Yeah, jam shot off the handle of his bat there. Didn't catch good contact at all, but sometimes that'll work out even better, and there a flare just falling perfectly between those 3 fielders, as you mentioned.
So runners on the corners now with 1 out for Justin Felix. The Otters have a triple, a double, and now a base hit in the end. Matthews winds and throws, and Felix fouls it off.
Felix, a guy who's struggled at the plate early on, but had that very clutch base hit last night in the 8th inning to tie the game up. An RBI shot there.
Yeah, 2-out RBI base hit. Tied the game at 4. Tied the game at 5, make it in the bottom of the 8th. Felix swings and misses, 0-2. Reyes at third, Olsen at first with 1 out on the bottom of the 2nd. The Otters lead 1-0. Matthews peeks back at first, kicks and throws, swung on and missed by Felix. Chasing one up in the zone, and there's 2 away. Third strikeout for Matthews.
Batting ninth, the shortstop, number 10,
Melion comes to the plate here with 2 outs and 2 on, trying to extend the inning. Otters fell 5-4 yesterday, and Evansville really could get the bats going and get a big inning. They had 2 in the first as Melion swings and pops one up right side. 3 Thunderbolts chasing, and the ball bounces right into the Otters bullpen and nearly hit an Otter, and now one of the Thunderbolts, I don't know if he collided into a chair or an Otter, but he's in some pain over down the first base line. It's the right fielder, Cumulos, who went down and then looked frustrated. He might have just been upset that the Otters didn't get out of the way quick enough. Thought he might have had a chance to make the play, so Melion gets another chance. 1 is fouled right side again. The first baseman, Isaacson, getting his steps in, but it bounces off the roof, 0-2. Otters yesterday couldn't put together that big inning that they had twice on Tuesday. Had the 2-run first and then just 2 1-run innings from there the rest of the game as they fell 5-4. Limited to just 6 hits. We have 3 here in the 2nd. The 0-2 is high, 1 ball and 2 strikes. One, 2 from Matthews. Melion fouls it straight back to stay alive. Matthews kicks and throws, and Melion fouls it away again. Good fight here by the Venezuelan in his 3rd game of the season. Signed by the Otters a couple weeks ago. Debuted on Tuesday. Member of the Padres organization for 6 years. The 1-2 is low and in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, he hasn't caught a lot of solid contact in his first couple games with the Otters, but 2 base hits and 3 RBIs nonetheless. He's been fairly productive at the plate.
2-2 count. The pitch. Melion swings, drives one into right. Back is Cumulos, and in is Spillane to cut in front of him and make the catch. The Otters plate 1, a triple by Quiggle, a double by Reyes to score him, and the Otters lead 1-0 through 2 on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports. To complete on a Thursday evening here from Evansville, 1-0 lead for the Otters over the Thunderbolts. You're watching Frontier League Baseball on Flow Sports. Griffin, Epstein, Lucas Daunhauer, excellent director Austin Hernandez, and the rest of our Evansville Otters Digital Network crew here at Bosse Field, and our Flow Sports production crew back in Houston. Will Riley leads things off here in the top of the third inning for the Thunderbolts. He was at the plate when Carson Matthews was thrown out trying to steal second. Lefty batter in his third game of the season shows bunt and pulls it back, but takes a strike anyways, 0-1. So Riley's been quite the utility man so far in his first series of the year for the Thunderbolts.
That's right. Right field, third base, and then second base today.
The Oregon Duck, the 0-1. Outside 1 ball and 1 strike. Oregon's done an incredible job with their baseball program. 15 years ago, they didn't even have a D1 baseball program, and now they're a perennial NCAA tournament team, including this year. Comes the 1-1 to Riley. Breaking ball misses high, 2-1. On the other hand, though, they're still in quite the shadows of their brothers to the north in Oregon State. The 3 national championships for the Beavers. Comes the 2-1 to the Duck. Outside, 3 balls and 1 strike.
I got a trivia question for you, Griffin. Do you know the only Power 5 school that does not have a baseball program still to this day?
There's multiple, so your trivia
Okay.
question is wrong. But I can name all.
You know all of them.
I do.
Okay.
The 3-1 is fouled away left side. So there's
I thought
there's one.
There's one, maybe 2.
There's one in every conference except for the SEC. If you talk about the Power 5, you think from a football standpoint. There's one in every
The
conference.
Big 12, I would not know then, for sure.
Iowa State in the Big 12.
Okay.
Syracuse, of course, in the ACC, which you know. Wisconsin in the Big 10. And Colorado in the Pac-12. So Riley fouls one back, 3-2. SEC has all, of course, SEC baseball has every team.
You really just put me to shame there.
Yeah, I did. But you've done it before here, so
Now I'll have to
We're
come up
evening
with
it up.
some obscure mascot later in the game that you don't know, and then we'll go from there.
wind and a throw, and Riley fouls it off again. Still a full count. Now, Wisconsin used to have a college baseball team, but it was discontinued back in the 80s.
Maybe that's what I was I was thinking 70s. That's what I was
That's what
thinking.
yeah. I don't know if Iowa State had a baseball team back then. Wisconsin only have one D1 baseball team in the whole state. Another 3-2. Riley fouls it away. Good battle here between Smith and Riley to start the top of the third. You know the only D1 baseball team in the state of Wisconsin?
I'll take a guess. I'll say Milwaukee.
You're right. The Milwaukee Panthers. The only D1 baseball team in the whole state. So summer ball is a huge deal in the state of Wisconsin. Was lucky to send a summer there. Riley swings, drives one into right. Back is Baez leaping up and making the grab. Didn't get a good jump on it. Kind of started coming in instead of going out. Had to stumble backwards fighting the sun. Not an easy play for Baez. One away.
We've seen about every ball that's been hit in center field and right field, whether they've made the play or not. All the outfielders are getting very late reads on these balls. Just a testament to how difficult it can be to play in that sun out there, but pretty impressive play, all things considered.
Have another 30 minutes or so, especially in right and center. Left field's actually, Myers is in shadow now, but right and center are going to be in sun for another good 20 minutes or so as Jonathan Waite, the catcher, the new batter, fouls the first pitch away. One out, nobody on here in the top of the third. 1-0 lead for Evansville. Smith kicks and throws. It's low. 1 ball and 1 strike. A kick and a throw and a breaking ball on the inside corner. 1-2 to Waite. Smith has had to work so far against the Thunderbolts, though he's only given up 1 hit and no walks, but some long at bats. This will already be his 33rd pitch here in the top of the third. Comes the 1-2. It's high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Smith scraping off some dirt on top of the rubber. Standing at the chest, looking in, winding, and throws. Low, and a full count to wait. Otters with 1 in the second, a RBI double by Omar Reyes, scoring Kona Quiggle, who had a triple off the right field wall. Otters 2 games back of first place entering today. Gateway looking for their 8th win in a row today. The 3-2, driven into left and through for a base hit. Waite pokes one. The hole between Melion and Reyes at short and third, respectively. Second base hit of the day for the Thunderbolts. 1 on with 1 out as Paul Kumalos, the right fielder, lefty batter to the plate. Kumalos, after not playing in game number 1. An excellent day yesterday, really kick-started the Windy City comeback at a solo home run in the 5th inning and ended up with 2 hits on the day. Lefty batter swings and misses at a ball in the dirt, bounces in front of Phillips, who runs after it as it rolls under the infield grass, and Waite stays put at first.
And the Thunderbolts 18 hits in the first 2 games of this series. One issue we talked about in that first game was not being able to move runners over and get them in. But last night in their win where they had 5 runs, they actually also left 11 men on base.
0-1, swung on and foul tipped off the plate, 0-2.
Just a pretty crazy statistic to think about. You wouldn't normally think you'd be able to win a ball game with 11 runners left on base, especially how their hitting had been the night before.
They've had an overall pretty good first couple days here at Bosse, hitting the baseball for a team that's only 3 times this season with 10 or more hits. A swing and a miss, the 0-2, and Kumalos strikes out. Second strikeout for Zach Smith, and we'll roll over to the top of the order in Martina with 2 outs. Runners still at first here in the top of the 3rd, 1-0 Evansville. Martina, righty batter, the hero yesterday for Windy City in the sudden death tiebreaker in the 11th. The bizarre situation, imagine it was probably the first ever time in Martina's life that he'd faced it, as he takes a strike on the inside corner. With 2 outs and the bases loaded, he was guaranteed to be the last batter of the game. If he was out, the Otters would win. If he was able to reach, the runner would score from third, and the Thunderbolts would win. And he got a base hit up the middle to do just that. The 0-1, low, 1 ball and 1 strike. The Otters elected to pitch on the sudden death tiebreaker yesterday instead of hitting. Needed to get 3 outs to win. Thunderbolts need to get a run to win, and came down to the death, a literal sudden death with Martina. The 1-1 is ripped down the third base line, a fair ball over the glove of Reyes. Myers cuts it off at the track. He'll be able to hold Waite at second, but it's a base hit for Martina, and there's 2 on with 2 out for Windy City.
Center fielder, 24, Brent Soleil.
Yeah, and Martina sitting on that breaking ball there that was very low in the zone for how hard he was able to hit that ball and lift it over third baseman Reyes' head. Went down and got that one in front of the plate, but kept his weight back very well on that breaking ball by Smith that's been so effective early on in this game.
Brent Spillane, the center fielder, the most dangerous hitter on this team so far this year to the plate with 2 on and 2 out. Kick and a throw to Spillane. It's outside in a left-handed batter's box, 1-0. Spillane leading the Thunderbolts this season. A .298 batting average. Guy that was a 3rd-round pick by the Reds back in 2018 after he was the National Player of the Year at Illinois. Comes the 1-0. On the outside corner, 1 ball and 1 strike. Spillane was collegiate National Baseball Newspaper Player of the Year in 2018, Big Ten Player of the Year at 407, was drafted in the third round by the Reds, but only lasted a couple years in the Reds organization. Now in his second year with Windy City, the 1-1 is low, 2 balls and 1 strike.
And another guy that we've seen so many players with really, really high experience and accolades at affiliate ball, and Spillane's case at the collegiate level, playing in a very tough Big Ten conference and able to put up numbers like he did.
That was very kind of you, talking of the Big Ten baseball is tough. Spillane misses low 3-1. I'm not sure a lot of people in the Big Ten conference would call the conference tough, but anyone hitting 407 and 22 home runs on the season, and he also had over 50 RBIs, is going to get national recognition as he did.
Maybe if you grew up in the Midwest, you'd respect the pedigree a little bit more.
Well, I've been around plenty of Big Ten baseball. The 3-1. It's on the outside corner for his strike, 3-2. Not saying it's a bad conference, but the depth, especially in the Big Ten, when you compare it to really any of the 4 other so-called Power 5 conferences, is miles behind. Back half of the league has just never been very strong. It's a big part because of the weather. Payoff pitch coming to Spillane. Here it is. Foul tipped, and Spillane stays alive. Just off the butt of the bat, that rolled foul down the third base line. Smith trying to get out of this top of the third inning. 2 on and 2 out, and a payoff pitch to the 2018 Big Ten Player of the Year. Sets at the belt, winds and throws, and it's fouled straight back.
Really good battle here by Spillane. He knows how valuable his out is here with a runner in scoring position. We talked about the Otters getting ahead on teams so consistently, and what you don't want to do is allow that lead to grow over the next couple innings, because then you're also going to have to face the Otters bullpen that's been so tough. Would be big to get a run on the board here in the third.
Third payoff pitch is a broken back grounder right to the shortstop. Melion throws to first in time for the third out of the inning. The bat shattering in half. Melion making the play, and Smith gets out of the 2-on, 2-out jam. Headed to the bottom of the third, 1-0 Otters in front on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Our friends from the YMCA are here this evening, so guess what we're going to do? Yes, the YMCA. Everyone's favorite, don't be shy. We have the Otter Bells and Evan the Otter in the main tunnel. They're ready to go. Our broadcaster Griffin requested this, so we're doing this for him. We're all doing the YMCA Honor Vision, checking that out on our Heritage video board. Glad to have our friends from the YMCA here. They're in the Corona Extra patio deck. Decks 1 through 10, almost 400 of our friends from the YMCA. We also say hello to Big Cat's Corner in Section 1. They're at Proctor Cabinets. They're in left field. Bracket, they're in Section 3. Big thank you to Julie Davis-Bruner, who had a first pitch this evening. And, of course, Miss Gina Moore. Back to the YMCA.
It's YMCA night at Bosse Field with the Otters leading 1-0 on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports. Great YMCA led by Evan the Otter and the Otter Bells on a lovely Thursday night. Otters leading 1-0 as Noah Myers will lead things off here in the bottom of the third inning. First pitch to Myers, the Canadian, bunt popped up foul behind home plate. Kenny Matthews into his third inning of work, lefty pitcher. 38 total pitches through 2, so the Otters have worked him well. Both teams have used most of their bullpen this series. Nice front door slider in for a strike to Myers, 0-2. That's how Myers struck out looking in the first. He's been so good against lefties, as Lucas talked about this year, as Myers takes high 1-2.
He has, but a lot of these Otters hitters just don't seem to be picking up that breaking ball out of Kenny Matthews' hand. We see him get tied up so much.
1-2 is chopped right side. I'm curious, Lucas, you're very good at explaining the tactical side of sports. Why, as a lefty batter, is it typically so much more challenging to face a lefty pitcher?
So you see way more right-handed pitchers growing up, especially in youth baseball.
As the 1-2 is chopped off the end of the bat. Fair ball, just rolling to the third baseman. Martina throws to first in time for the out. It hit right off the butt of the bat, just died in the grass. Martina, a good read to snare it and get Myers out, 1 away.
So in the professional ranks, you'll see almost an even amount of left-hand, right-handed pitchers, but when you're growing up, there's so many more people who are just naturally right-handed. So lots of the people at this point were kind of hand-selected to reach this level, but as a kid, you got to think about everyone you're facing, most of your coaches throwing batting practice to you, all the initial pitchers you see as a kid, almost everyone's right-handed.
Ethan Skinder, the new batter, swings, drives one into center. Racing in is Spillane, and he can't make the catch. It bounces off the grass in front of him and into right. Kumolas throws it in. Spillane is 0 for 2, and diving catches attempts already in center. And Skinder's got a base hit here in the third. 1 on and 1 out as it brings up Dakota Phillips. Another lefty on lefty matchup here.
Really good piece of hitting there by Skinder, but yeah, just to kind of finalize my point, at that point you've seen so many less left-handed batters or pitchers as a lefty hitter, and it's just kind of hard to pick the ball up out of their hand.
Phillips takes the first pitch, front door breaking ball for a strike, 0-1.
And especially breaking balls, I know, for young players are very hard to pick up in lefty-on-lefty situations. You usually think it's about to hit you.
Matthews steps off, throws over to first. Skinder back in safely.
So I know some right-handers will like to give lefties stick for us complaining about having to face our own
brothers.
Right,
yeah.
but they say we do that all the time.
0-1 is fouled straight back.
And we have another
two.
beer that was spilt.
Oh, wow.
Aaron Hancock. Please fill behind us.
That one was more to the left of home plate. Another beer on a ledge. Is everyone okay down there? I can't believe that's happened 2 games in a row. The 0-2 is high 1-2.
And Evansville news reporter Aaron Hancock actually caught a huge splash of that beer on both his face and his camera.
Oh, no. Wow. Well, the life of the news reporter is not easy, but getting drenched with beer at a ball game is not something you expect. The 1-2 is swung on by Phillips, driven into right. Back is Kumalos at the track, and it's off the wall. Skinder hustling around from third. The throw home is cut off. And the Otters lead 2-0 on an RBI double by Dakota Phillips.
And right there we see Phillips picking up a left-handed breaking ball so well, was just sitting on it, had his way back and drives it out into right field. And how about Dakota Phillips now? 20 RBIs on the season. He was tied for 4th in the league going into tonight. I'd imagine that just moved him likely into 3rd place.
Indeed. The RBI double off the right field wall. It's been a tough start for Spillane and Kumolis fighting the sun out there in center and right. Baez swings at the first pitch, drives it into left. Over is Robinson. He dives and can't make the catch. It rolls all the way to the wall. Phillips scores from second. Baez is trying for third. He dives in safely as the throw is to the right of the third base bag. A triple for Jeffrey Baez.
And there's that speed that you wouldn't really suspect from Jeffrey Baez. I'm not sure the Windy City outfielders thought he'd be going for 3 there, but A guy with a larger build had 26 stolen bases last season, though, and puts the wheels on for a triple. In the Otters' middle of their lineup here is just stringing some really good hits together.
The Otters have 2 triples in this game already after having just 4 entering today. So it's 3-0 Otters, still just 1 out. Kona Quiggle stands in. Lefty takes a first pitch strike. 3 straight hits for the Otters, a base hit, a double, and now a triple with Quiggle, who already has a triple today, up to bat. The infield is in. The 0-1 is fouled away by Quiggle, 0-2. Skinder a base hit. Phillips a double. Now Baez a triple. 2 across in the third, and the Otters leading 3-0.
And that may have been a rally beer that spilled down there for the Otters.
Comes the 0-2. Quiggle sprays it foul and out of play. That one, the one yesterday really was, the cup didn't even fall out. All the beer splashed onto one kid's face. That was bad, no doubt about it. But maybe today's was just a little splash for everyone to get some mojo going. You got to keep your beers off the ledge, though. Fans have learned now the hard way. The 0-2 is inside, 1-2.
I will be curious to see, after that happening in back-to-back games, how many more times that happens throughout the season.
Matthew Will, who was here at every game last year, director of communications for the Otters, said he didn't see that a single time all of last year, and now it's happened 2 games in a row. Funny how things work. 1-2 to Quiggle, swing and a miss. Matthews gets a much-needed out on a fastball up, and there's 2 away.
I mean, it seems almost inevitable if you leave it on the ledge that we have here at Bosse Field that has a net that's going to move quite a bit if any kind of ball hits it.
Omar Reyes to the plate with 2 outs. Baez still at third. 2 across here for the Otters. They lead 3-0. They have 6 hits today, the same total they had all of yesterday. Reyes, founds the first pitch straight back. Otters giving more run support to Zach Smith early here at Bosse Field. He's worked 3 scoreless. The 0-1, inside. Good stop by Waite. 1-1. Reyes with an RBI double in the second. Saw his 11-game hit streak come to an end yesterday, but he now has reached base in 13 straight games. The 1-1 is fouled straight back off the roof of the grandstands, 1-2. Almost the whole field now in shadow, but the center fielder Spillane still staring into the sun. A few splatters of sunshine elsewhere on the diamond that are spilling through the roof of the grandstands. Here's the 1-2. Reyes just chops it right side to stay alive. Otters leading 3-0 here in the bottom of the third inning. A kick and a throw. It's high. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Reyes.
What a good battle by Reyes here. We talked about how well he's able to pick up left-handed pitchers. Now 11 for 17 on the season against them, and been very selective. Fouled a few pitches off here.
2-2. Reyes slaps one. Right side skids off the edge of the grass. Good glove by Riley at second. Throws to first in time for the third out of the inning. The Otters play 2 in the third. They take a 3-0 lead. So we have played 3 here from Bosse Field. You're listening to Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and watching on Flow Sports.
Hoosier Lottery strikeout batter that made 15. First baseman, Nathan Isaacson.
Back at Bosse Field, 3 innings complete here from the River City. 3-0 lead for the Otters over the Thunderbolts. 2-run third extending the lead. Zach Smith back out on the bump to start the top of the 4th inning. First pitch strike to Peyton Isaacson, lefty first baseman. The far right side of the rubber, Smith kicks and throws. Isaacson chops one right side, right to the first baseman. Olsen gloves it and strides over to the first base back for the first out of the inning. So it brings up Micah Yonamine, the DH. He reached on a base hit back on the second, one of 3 hits today for the Thunderbolts. So Zach Smith off to another great start today. Has allowed 3 hits, but no walks. And 3 strikeouts as well as he winds and throws. Yonamine takes outside. 1-0. 2 strikeouts. Check that on Smith. It's been such an impressive start to the year, looking for his 2nd win and his 4th quality outing as Isaacson swings, drives one into right. Back is Quiggle and diving to not make the catch. The ball is bouncing off the dirt on the wall. It's relayed in. A stand-up double for Isaacson. Quiggle with full effort out in right center. Dirt going flying as he tried to make the catch. His jersey and pants are just covered in dirt. It would have been a spectacular play by the center fielder. But Yonamine instead with a 2-hit day already, a double here in the 4th.
And Quiggle looking maybe a little bit shaken up after that. Not sure if it was just all the dirt that probably flew into his eyes. I mean, we couldn't even see the play because so much dirt came up off the track there.
Yeah, that looked like a dirt devil or something. We're at a dirt track race. Quiggle is similar to Viola, I think, over at third when he's playing over there as Robinson takes a strike. There's one level for them, and that is 100% all out all the time. It doesn't matter what pitch and what play and what game. That can be to your detriment occasionally, too, as Robinson takes outside 1-1. Sometimes you just need to take a step off and not risk a long-term injury or exhausting yourself. But on the other hand, you love to have those kind of guys on your team.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think those are the kind of people that also just make their teammates around them that much better. It's always pushing and leading by example.
1-1 is low to Robinson. 2 balls and 1 strike. Yonamine at second. 1 out here on the top of the 4th. Quiggle appears to be okay in center, but the laundry machine is going to have quite the work today to get all of that dirt off the all-white unis today for the Otters. Not the right day to wear it for that sort of dive out in the outfield track as Robinson takes a strike 2-2. Smith on the far right side of the rubber, peeks back at second at Yonamine. Kicks and throws. Robinson slaps it foul to stay alive.
So one thing I've been meaning to ask you, Griffin, if you were to suit up today for, we'll say, the Evansville Otters.
Well, that's a funny joke.
Would you sport the look where your pants are pulled up, exposing your socks, or you think you'd go with the pants long all the way down?
Well, I was talking yesterday. Olsen really had his pants
His were above his knees,
hiked up
actually.
high. I think they're similar. They might be a little bit lower today. The 2-2, Robinson fouls straight back. But yeah, Olsen will hike them up above the knees. Guys like Viola, Reyes, who's playing third today, Myers out in the outfield, have them down. Reyes has them all the way down, so you can't even see the blue socks at all. I think I'm a pants down guy.
Okay.
I don't need to show off my socks. There's a little more protection for your legs, too. Now, granted, it is a hot day, so maybe it adds a little more air. The 2-2 bounces low. and a full count. I don't know, is it style? Is it comfort? Is it maybe breathability plays a factor in it?
I think there's style and comfort are your two main things. Some guys can't stand the feeling of playing one way or the other. And personally, if you have the traditional stirrups, like we see Noah Myers wearing in left field, I have them pulled up. But if it's plain socks, I would have it pulled down.
The payoff to Robinson is sliced at Skinder. Diving play, spins around, throws to first in time for the out. The Otters throw down to third. Ziona Mine advances safely ahead of the throw. What a pretty play by Skinder, a one-hopper. He dove down into the edge of the right field grass, picked the ball off the dirt, and just did a 360 pirouette to throw to first, and really made a spectacular play look relatively easy.
Yeah, we've seen him do that a number of times this year, just working one way to the other and locking in on a ball, just sliding and making a really good play and an even more impressive throw when he pops up.
Carson Matthews, the shortstop, takes the first pitch outside for a ball, 1-0. So Yonamine goes to third, advancing on the ground outs. He's 90 feet away, but 2 outs with Matthews the batter. Smith winds and throws, and Matthews chops one right to Reyes, the third baseman. Loves it, crossed to first in time for the third out of the inning. It's 4 scoreless for Zach Smith. It's been another great day so far for him on the bump, and the Otters lead 3-0 as we go to the bottom of the fourth on the Otters Digital Network.
It's time to show us your best smiles for the Paramount Dental Smile Cam. Over 300,000 members trust Paramount Dental because it's based right here in the Hoosier state of Indiana. Paramount Dental has been ensuring smiles for more than 37 years. Keep smiling with Paramount Dental. And we're smiling because we have a great Otters Digital Network crew here. We have Devin. Mayray is here as well. Oh, and he is back for a second game. We didn't scare him off last night. West Austin, Andrew, Christian, Kavanaugh, Hernandez, and of course Griffin and Lucas providing all the colors and words on the Otters Digital Network. And you can catch out all those games on Flow Sports, the official streaming partner of the Frontier League. Never miss a game and follow along all the way to the championship. Visit EvansvilleOtters.com for links to watch and subscribe today for all Frontier League and Flow Sports content. Nicely done on that Paramount Dental Smile Cam. Leading off, the first baseman, number 2, Jacob Olsen.
To the bottom of the fourth inning here from Bosse Field. 3-0 lead for the Otters in a rubber match between Evansville and Windy City. Thirsty Thursday, YMCA night, big crowd at the ballpark. A lovely warm evening. Well, Jacob Olsen takes a first pitch outside to start the bottom of the fourth. Olsen a base hit back in the second. He swings, drives one into right center. It's down for a base hit, and it's rolling all the way to the wall. Olsen hustling to second with a stand-up double for the slugger from Georgia. Olsen starting to find his bat over the last couple of weeks. A slow start to the season, batting average still below 200, but now a 2-hit day today, and he's got 3 hits in the last 2 games.
Yeah, and the Otters starting to really hit Kenny Matthews pretty hard on just about every at-bat. Good piece of hitting there by Olsen. He catches a fastball on the outer half of the plate and just lets it run deep, drives it way out there into right center.
The Otters are finding the gap so far today in a big way. Justin Felix swings at the first pitch, a bloop base hit into center. One hops in front of Spillane. Olsen advances to third. Felix just blooping a ball off the end of the bat that really had no chance for Spillane and center to get. It fell too quickly.
Really a weird looking at bat there. A pitch only going 68 miles an hour, so it wasn't coming in hard at all. And it felt like Felix almost swung in slow motion.
It came off at just 72 miles per hour, so.
Regardless, you knew the second it was hit, no one had a chance of catching it.
That is weird of a bloop base hit as you can get. And the Otters really threatening now to blow this game open in the bottom of the fourth. Kelvin Melion takes a big swing and miss at the first pitch. He sees 0-1.
And he had big ideas with that cut. Melion, we said, hasn't connected all that well with balls early on, but he really took a big hack there after seeing these 2 base hits to start the inning.
Olsen at third, Felix at first. The 0-1 is chopped up the middle. Diving as the shortstop Matthews can't get there and into center. Olsen scores from third, a RBI base hit for Melion, his 4th RBI as an Otter.
Yeah, another productive at bat, and I'm sure he's going to be happier with that one than his other RBIs because he connects really well with a pitch up in the zone, and he just keeps his hands high and drives it up the middle.
Oh, it's heading in the wrong direction for Kenny Matthews, and Richie Sexton, the big manager for the Thunderbolts, on out to have a word with Matthews and try to calm him down. His last 2 outings have gone sideways, with Matthews allowing a combined 12 runs in his last 2 outings, and 4 across here in the bottom of the fourth, and 2 on still with nobody out.
The Thunderbolts now with Austin Morozas, it looks like, over there in the bullpen, getting loose.
Alrighty. Myers comes to the plate with 2 on and still nobody out. Olsen led off the inning with a double. Felix the bloop base hit. Melion a base hit up the middle. Still nobody out, and the Otters leading 4-0. Myers shows bunt and lays down a great one down the third base line. Picked up by the catcher. Throw to first is just in time to get Myers. Picture perfect bunt. Waite did a nice job behind the plate getting there and beating Myers by just a hair on the throw.
Second baseman, number 1, Ethan Skinder.
So it brings up Skinder, who's 1 for 2 today. Hit back in the third. Felix at third and Melion at second. 1 out here in the bottom of the fourth. The Otters have scored in 3 straight innings and have taken a 4-0 lead here in the bottom of the fourth. Matthews on the far left side of the rubber, winds and throws outside with the Windy City infield in again. The outfield now finally in the shade, and sun rays reflecting off the Crawford Door building out past center. Skinder swings, drives one into right, but it's right at Kumolis. He makes the catch. Both runners will tag. Melion scores from home without a throw, and it's 5-0 Evansville. Felix scoring from third. Melion advancing to third base from second. Skinder with a RBI sac fly. 2 away here in the fourth, but now 2 more across, and it's 5-0 Evansville. Otters have plated 9 hits already after just 6 yesterday. Phillips 1 for 2 today with a double in the third. Lefty batter takes the first pitch low. Otters have 5 of those 9 hits are extra base hits, including 2 triples. They found the gaps well. Close to a couple home runs. The 1-0 is fouled away by Phillips. 1-1.
That's right, and we saw the infield playing in on that previous play by Windy City. They knew how important it would be to try to keep that 5th run off the board. The Otters 9-1 on the season if they score 5 or more runs.
Here's the 1-1 to Phillips. Driven down the right field line, a fair ball. Rolling all the way into the corner. Phillips will go for second and hold up there with a double. His second double of the game. Scores Melion from third. It's a 3-run inning for the Otters, and Evansville leads 6-0 here in the bottom of the fourth.
That's right, and Phillips' second RBI double of the game, and honestly, on an identical pitch to the one he saw on his last double that he hit, a looping, breaking ball, even though lefty on lefty situation, and it looks like that's going to be all here for Kenny Matthews.
Matthews limited the Otters to just 1 run through the first 2 innings, but things have fallen apart. 2 in the 3rd, and now 3 make it across here in the 4th to blow things open. It's all Otters now. They lead 6-0 here in the bottom of the 4th. Windy City going to the bullpen. We're back on the other side. The Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
We have a call to the bullpen. Windy City, 21, Austin Moses. In to pitch. Moses on the mound, wait. Behind the plate. Pitcher-catcher battery is powered by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find your battery needs the Answer Auto Repair East. 2319. Electric Roller Kicker, 1-812-475-9000.
Welcome back to Bosse Field. The Otters have put a big inning here together in the bottom of the 4th inning as 3 runs have come across and they've taken a 6-0 lead. Jeffrey Baez to the plate with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th, and the Thunderbolts go into the bullpen in replace of Kenny Matthews. Austin Morozis, a righty pitcher, back for a 2nd year with the Thunderbolts. As Baez swings, hopper to Martina at 3rd, throws to first in time, and that is the first out of the inning. So Morozis gets down in the inning on 1 batter, but the Otters play 3 in the 4th, and they lead 6-0 on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Oh no, they have a fan club. Ladies and gentlemen, your Southwest Graphics Evansville Otter Bells.
Welcome back to Bosse Field. It's another Train Thursday. And speaking of great things in the Midwest. Frontier League Baseball on Flow Sports is brought to you by Budweiser. 6-0 lead for the Otters in the top of the 5th with the train rumbling by. The Otters off to an excellent start on this Thursday evening, trying to win the series over Windy City and get to 12-6 on the season. Will Riley, lefty batter, leading things off and taking a first pitch high for a ball, 1-0. Gateway trying to match the Otters' longest win streak in the Frontier League this year. The 1-0 is a breaking ball at the belt for a ball, 2-0. But the Grizzlies look like they are going to match that 8-game win streak. They're up 6-1 in the bottom of the 8th at Lake Erie. 2-1 is ripped down the right field line and foul. Hard hit ball, 2-1. So Gateway wins that. They would win their 8th in a row and tie the Otters for the longest win streak by anyone in the Frontier League. And Evansville would need to win tonight to just stay 2 games back of the red-hot Grizzlies, who have just 4 losses on the season. Gateway did this last year, though. They got up to a super hot start and still ended up with a losing record. A 2-1 misses outside, 3 balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, been so impressive in the start of this season, though. Got 2 series here at Bosse Field in June, and if you're anywhere in the Evansville area, that's going to be must-see baseball.
3-1 by Riley outside for ball 4, and Smith, his first walk he's allowed today.
The catcher, 8, Jonathan Waite.
Brings up Jonathan Waite, the catcher, with 1 on and nobody out here in the top of the 5th. Otters leading 6-0. Those Gateway series, the 2 in June, and then the teams don't play again until the last week of the season as Waite grounds one under the glove of Melion and into left field. Hard hit ball, Melion working to his left, tried to backhand it, but it skipped under his glove. And the Thunderbolts in action here in the 5th. They have 2 on with nobody out. Brings up Paul Kumalos, the right fielder. Smith trying to work out of a jam. He's continued this incredible start to the season. Now 24 innings of work and just 1 earned run allowed. It was a solo home run at Quebec. Winds and throws, and Kumalos swings and misses 0-1.
And I think one factor, not to discredit Zach Smith in any way whatsoever, he's been incredible, but he's had very, very good run support, which I think is, in the mental aspect of baseball, a very calming, relaxing presence on the mound, just knowing that regardless how your inning goes, you're going to have support behind you.
A 1 pitch outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Katy, Texas native at 72 pitches on the outing. He certainly had to work hard today. A lot of runners on base, 5 hits and a walk. But he's been so poised and calm as he has all season long. The 1-1 swing and a miss, 1-2. He's got plenty of run support to work with, and the Otters would love for him to eat out more innings as they'll hit the road for a 3-game trip to Joliet this weekend. The 1-2 pitch, bouncing low and in the dirt, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That's right, he's been able to work his way out of some jams throughout the year and keep his earned run average pretty unblemished for the most part, and a big part of that has been his control on the mound. Now just 5 walks on the young season.
Dakota Phillips out to have a quick word with Smith. Inning concluded with Phillips, the most experienced catcher for the Otters, his 4th season here in Evansville. Not really many more guys in the lineup will have more calming presence as the 2-2 sails outside. A full count now DeComolos with 2 on and nobody out in the top of the 5th. Windy City looking for a big number to get back in the ball game. It's a 6-0 lead for Evansville. Payoff pitch coming. Smith at the belt, winds and throws. Outside for ball 4. 2 walks, sandwiching a base hit by Waite, and the bases are loaded with nobody out here in the 5th. And Max Peterson, the Otters pitching coach, striding out to have a word with the Texas righty.
Yeah, a few guys standing up in the Otters bullpen now, starting to stretch out, get the resistance bands going. We'll see though. Zach Smith, certainly a lot of opportunity to work his way out of this situation. Has a 6-run lead to work with, and I'm sure that's the message that Max Peterson is relaying to him now.
One swing with the bases loaded can change everything. I feel like every game I brought up the last Friday night at Quebec, and I'm sorry to Otter fans for doing that, but the Otters have been excellent this season with the lead, except for that Friday at Quebec, a 7-run lead blown with Smith on the bump, and it was in part because of a grand slam in the 8th inning that made a 5-run game a 1-run game in the 8th inning. Got to be careful with Martina up to the plate. Smith winds and throws, and Junior Martina swings and misses. Third baseman 1 for 2 today. He has 2 home runs on the season and leads the Thunderbolts with 14 batted in.
That's right, and he doesn't shy away from a high-pressure situation. We saw what he did in the 11th inning to put that game in the books last night.
With the bases loaded, the 0-1 is in on the hands. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hunter Cloak, lefty, is starting to throw for the Honors in the pen. Smith just looking for some outs. The 1-1 is sliced straight back, heading towards us, but the net is there to avoid disaster here in the booth.
One of those days we'll get a chance. It'll make its way through the net or something.
You're going to try to sabotage us and cut a little hole? The net at Quebec was wild, the way it would deflect balls into the stands. That's a whole other story. They had a strangely constructed net. The 1-2 inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Never know what you're going to see at a sporting venue when you cross a border, do you?
Well, I saw nothing but great things. I loved my trip up to Quebec City. Awesome place. Bases are loaded here in the top of the 5th. The Otters leading 6-0. 2-2 count to Martina. Smith winds and throws. Martina chops one right side. Skinner over to his right, throws to second to 1, and Melion will eat it there. So the Otters get it out. Windy City will score. Riley scoring from third. Runners now on the corners with 1 out. When you have a big lead like this, you're just looking for outs, and the Otters will take 1.
Yeah, middle infield shaded back now. Chance got one of those 3 outs out of the way, and a chance for a double play now if Zach Smith can keep the ball down and throw a ground ball for him.
Brings up Brent Spillane, who takes a strike at the knees. Waite was the runner out, so Comolos at third and Martina at first as Spillane takes inside 1-1. Just the second earned run that Zach Smith has given up this year. Nearly immaculate on the mound. The 1-1 is swung on, popped up, right side, back is Baez looking up, and it's off the base of the wall. This will score at least 1. Martina will hold up at third. Good throw in. But the Thunderbolts have plated 2 here in the 6th. It's a double for Spillane off the right field wall. Waite walked home from third. And Martina goes first to third. There's runners at second and third with a 1 out here in the top of the 5th as Isaacson comes to the plate. And we're all peering over at Cloak in the Otters dugout to see if Smith's going to remain in this ball game. Yes, for now. So Isaacson to the plate. He is grounded out to short both times. Base hit here, and all of a sudden we have a close game again. Swing and a miss by Isaacson. The first pitch he sees. Martina at third, Spillane at second. Really the 2 walks were what caused the issues in this inning here for Zach Smith. 2 walks, a base hit, and now a big double by Spillane. The 0-1 to the lefty. Swung on, chopped to the second baseman Skinner. Gloves it, side toss to first in time, 2 away. Martina will score from third, and it's a 3-run inning for Windy City.
If you're Richie Sexton, that's exactly what you wanted out of your ball club in this inning. You still got about half a game to work with after that, and if you can just slowly chip away at these runs, and they were able to take advantage of those 2 walks from Zach Smith and string together some good pieces of hitting afterwards.
T.H. Yonamine, the batter. Takes low for a ball, 1-0. Spillane still over at third. 3 across here in the 5th to match the 3 in the 4th by the Otters. Smith winds and throws, and Yonamine takes a strike on the outside corner. 1-1. Lights are on and coming into effect here at Bosse Field, just shortly past 8 o'clock local time here in the Pocket City. The 1-1 pitch, bouncing low and in the dirt, 2-1. A few fluffy clouds out past center field with a little bit of sunlight reflecting on them. It's been a sunny, rainy, cloudy day, a classic early summer day in southern Indiana. Hot and humid as well. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Right down the middle, 2-2, and Smith is a strike away from getting out of the inning at 88 pitches. You'd imagine this will be it for Zach Smith. He's made it through 6 his first 3 outings, but Thunderbolts have done a good job of working up his pitch count. Here's the 2-2. It's strike 3. Yonamine left looking, a strikeout to retire the side by Smith, but it's the Thunderbolts who get back in the ball game with 3 runs in the top of the 5th inning. 6-3 as we go to the bottom of the 5th on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
We encourage you to conserve energy in order to save money at home, but right now we need you to turn up the energy and the volume and make some noise for your Put all your energy and turn it on in the second half of the game. Make that light flow.
Leading off for the Evansville Otters in center field.
To the bottom of the 5th inning from Bosse Field. The Thunderbolts plating 3 in the top half to cut the lead in half and keep Been a ball game in this rubber match between Evansville and Windy City. Kona Quiggle will lead things off for the Otters here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Quiggle with a triple back in the 2nd, came home to score on a Reyes double to open the scoring in this evening's ball game. Austin Morozis, who got the last out of the 4th, back out for a first full inning of work, fires a strike into Kona Quiggle. Morozis in his first outing this season with Windy City. Far right side, winds and throws. Pitch on the outside corner, 0-2. 10 hits on 6 runs for the Otters, 3 runs on 6 hits for Windy City. Just activated from the injury list a couple days ago for Morozis. The 0-2, high and away, 1-2.
That's right. Was with Windy City last year at just a 2.08 ERA in 7 games worked. He pitched collegiately with both UNC Charlotte and Missouri over in the SEC.
Quiggle called time, shaking out his hands and his arm a little bit. He must have gotten some sort of stain remover on his jersey, because it actually doesn't look too bad after he dove in the dirt a few innings ago. He lunges at the 1-2, chops it down the line, gloves by the first baseman Isaacson, who tosses to Morozis, steps on the bag for the out.
The third baseman, number 28, Yomar Reyes.
Brings up Omar Reyes, the third baseman, with 1 away here in the bottom of the 3rd after the 3-1 ground out. Morozis trying to build some length here, as Matthews could only make it through 4 2/3 and come in with a 6-run deficit, but all of a sudden lead cut in half, and Thunderbolts feel like they have a chance here still to take this series. Reyes takes the first pitch strike, 0-1. Reyes 1 for 2 today, RBI double back in the 2nd for the Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic native. 0-1, bouncing outside. 1-1. Cloak is still throwing in the Otter pen. Smith giving up 3 in the top half of the 5th, the most he's given up in a game this season. Likely his day is done. Kick and a throw. Reyes chops one. Charging in is the third baseman. Martina throws across the body in time. 2 down in the bottom of the 5th.
The first baseman, number 2, Jacob Olson.
Bring up Jacob Olson with 2 outs, so nobody on here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Olson is 2 for 2 today. Base hit in the 2nd. Double in the 4th. First pitch to Olson. Low and in the dirt, 1-0. Talked some in this homestand about the Otters' long road trip, 22-hour bus drive back. Olson's a guy who's played a lot of baseball all the way up to AAA Iowa in 2021, last year with the Lincoln Salt Dogs and the American Association, but told me that was the longest bus ride he's ever been on his baseball career. He can't hold back a swing on a pitch on the outside corner, 1-1.
Sure, all the players are more than happy to put that behind them and have an opportunity to look at the calendar and see some smooth sailing in regards to the remainder of the road trips.
Otters don't have another 6-game trip until the start of July, as Olson fouls one back, 1-2. The Otters' longest trip will only be a couple 5-hour trips. They have up to Joliet this weekend, and then to Crestmont a weekend after. They'll then head to Florence a weekend after that, which is only 3 hours away. So no East Coast road trips or even over to Lake Erie or Washington, which are the longer trips into July. The Otters will have a couple. July will be a brutal travel month for the Otters. They only play 12 home games the whole month of July. 9 home games in the whole month of July. Nearly the whole month is on the road, along with the All-Star break. But it's a heavy home schedule for Evansville to start the season. 1-2 count to Olson. The pitch is low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Otters were great at home last season, 32-18 at Bosse Field. So you can't complain about this heavy home start to the season. They're playing 63% of their games at home in the months of May and June, 27-43. As Olsen chops one up the middle, over to his right is the shortstop Matthews, the glove, the throw to first. And the side is retired. The Otters down in order in the bottom of the fifth. 3-run lead for Evansville through 5 on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
How about we try to build a couple of subs out here on the field tonight? Jersey Mike's building some time. Layla over here on the first base side. Mariah over on the third base side. They got to do the dizzy bat 10 times and then build a sub. And all up on the Southwest Graphics Evansville Otters, and they'll be a winner. Ready, set, and spin. Layla on the first base side. Mariah on the third base side. Trying to win a prize from our friends at Jersey Mike's. Yeah, let's see. Layla got her spinning in. Mariah finally got her spinning in. Now we are sub-building. And it looks like over on the first base side, Layla is your winner. Nice hand look, but this contestants, and the only way to top it up is with real red wine vinegar, made from red grapes, and no food coloring. The only way is at Jersey Mike's because authentic ingredients make a sub above. Now located at 939 North Burkhart Road in Evansville.
Evansville called the bullpen. Hunter Cloak in to pitch the battery club on the mound. Phillips behind the plate. That's powered by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find your battery needs at the Answer Auto Repair East, 2319 North River Road, 312-475-9000. Don't forget a Budweiser Thirsty Thursday. Every home Thursday contest. Discounted wraps on your favorite domestics. Go to the beer truck on the outer concourse. Don't forget about the backstop bar as well. Budweiser Thirsty Thursday. We thank our friends at Working Distributors and their partnership with Evansville Otters Baseball.
To the bottom of the fifth inning here from Bosse Field. The Otters leading 6-3 in this rubber match between the Thunderbolts and the Otters. Hunter Cloak is the new pitcher in for Evansville, with Zach Smith completing 5 innings. Pitching changes brought to you by the Answer Auto Repair East, with Cloak on the mound. And the battery behind the plate, still Dakota Phillips, this pitcher and catcher battery, sponsored by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find your battery needs at the Answer Auto Repair East, located at 2319 North Green River Road, or call at 812-475-9000. That's 812-475-9000. Cloak, the lefty from nearby Henderson County, just across the Ohio River in Kentucky, face lefty Dan Robinson to start off the top of the sixth. Robinson takes the first pitch outside for a ball, 1-0. Otters leading 6-3 here in the top of the sixth inning, trying to win their 4th series of the season. As Robinson takes outside, 1-1.
Cloak's been a big part of that. He's given the Otters 8 innings of work, just 2 runs allowed in those 8 innings so far this year.
1-1 from Cloak is a front door slider that just misses inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Cloak in 6 appearances, a 2.25 ERA. As Lucas mentioned, I have worked with Austins a lot. As Robinson fouls one off, 2-2. As Lucas mentioned, just 2 runs allowed by Cloak. That was at Quebec on Sunday, and it was largely a control issue as he walked a few guys and hit a couple guys in that. Otherwise, no runs allowed. 2-2 from the southpaw. Check swing on a pitch outside. Did he go? No, says the third base umpire, Reed Hoover.
To the displeasure of many of the Otters fans that made their way out to the ballpark on this beautiful evening, a thirsty Thursday and YMCA night here at the ballpark.
Here's a payoff pitch. Robinson stays alive. The Thirsty Thursdays tend to have fans start thinking that they can be their own umpires. Payoff pitch to Robinson. Swung on, driven into center. Playable for Quiggle. Now a few steps in. Lifts up the glove and makes the catch. One away. So with one down, it brings up Carson Matthews, the shortstop. Here in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Otters pitching staff trying to get through 4 innings to earn the Evansville victory today. Cloak winds and throws to the righty batter. It's on the inside corner for a strike, 0-1. Cloak, the only guy on the active roster for the Otters from the Evansville metro areas. The 0-1 is chopped straight back, 0-2. I talked with him. He said, you know, he just first year with the Otters, just never even really imagined growing up that he would pitch for them, but he's just loved it so far, being able to live at home and play for a professional baseball team at the same time. You know, 2 bouncing inside, and Matthews having to hop out of the way of it to avoid being hit, 1-2.
That's right, grew up just across the river and also played for 2 pretty local colleges, Brescia down in Owensboro, and then also IU Southeast over in New Albany.
2-2 pitch is again inside, and Matthews has to hop out of the way, a full count. 20-minute drive or so across the Ohio River. All the other Otters players stay with host families, which are courteous enough to provide care and food for the players, but there's nothing like being with your real family. As the 3-2 was found right side and out of play. Another payoff coming to Matthews. Cloak winds and throws. Matthews swings, flare into right, down for a hit. Hops in front of Baez. Just got to get the bat out sometimes. Matthew accomplishes that. His first hit of the day. 1 on and 1 out here in the 6th with Riley, the second baseman, to the plate.
Will Riley.
Sun is fully set. The lights are on and into full effect now here on this Thursday night from Bosse Field. Our lefty batter Riley, lefty on lefty matchup. Matthews at first with a 2-strike lead. Cloak winds and throws. Slider outside, corner for a strike, 0-1.
If you're the Thunderbolts, you see how efficiently Austin Morozes has been able to work these last couple innings. You'd have to imagine he can give you maybe an inning or 2 more and keep you in this game, give you a chance to climb back in it.
Cloak steps off, throws over to first. Matthews back in safely. The Otters got out to a big lead with 1 in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd, and 3 in the 4th, but 3 answered by Windy City in the top of the 5th to make it a ball game. Runner goes, pitch outside, throw down to second is a good one. Not in time, though, as Matthews beats it out.
Really good jump from Matthews there. Lefty, so you never know, or it's harder to tell when they're going to throw over to first base. We saw Cloaks use one of his 2 pickup moves on the pitch before, and then it seems like Matthews was just going on any type of motion by Cloak there.
Runner in scoring position for the Thunderbolts. 1-1 count to Riley. Pitch on the outside part of the plate. 1-2. A lot of horizontal movement from the arm of Cloak. A 1-2. Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cloak scraping away some dirt on the rubber. Resetting on the right side of the mound. Baseball in the left hand, black glove. Sets at the chest. Rocking back and forth, winds and fires. And Riley fouls it away. It's really unique here at Bosse Field, and it probably gives the Otters an advantage that Bosse is one of only a couple diamonds in the whole league now that is still a normal grass field. Most parks in the Frontier League are unofficial turf these days. Another 2-2 is fouled away again by Riley.
Yeah, and we've seen that across all of sports. It's just more recently making its way to baseball and softball where there's so many turf fields. And I think as an athlete, you really can't beat the opportunity to play on a natural surface. And we've got a beautiful field here at Bosse.
Here's the 2-2 to Riley. Swing and a miss. Long battle between those two, but it's Cloak who finally wins it, and there's 2 away.
That's a German-American bank strikeout.
That brings up Jonathan Waite, the catcher, with 2 outs. Matthews
Jonathan Waite.
still at second here in the top of the 6th, and the Otters leading 6-3. Waite, a righty batter who is 2 for 2 today. 2 base hits for Waite. First pitch is low, 1 ball and no strikes. Waite came in with just 1 hit on the day, or 1 hit on the season after not playing this series, and he's got 2 on the day. About that for the Concord, California native. Last played with the San Rafael Pacifics as the 0-1's on the inside corner, 1-1. Pacifics in the Pecos League now, which is the far west coast independent baseball league. Pacifics have bounced around in a few different India ball leagues. The 1-1 chopped right to the shortstop. Meliana goes right between his legs and into left field. Bill Buckner's the baseball. Matthews scores on the E6, and the inning continues on a costly air for Melian. Will be an unearned run with 2 outs.
And that stolen base by Matthews proving to be crucial now. Gives you an opportunity that if you just put the ball in play, you never know what's going to happen. And they make the most out of another error by the Otters. Last inning, it was the walks they took advantage of, and they're climbing their way back into this ball game.
Paul Kumalos, lefty Lancer, takes a first pitch strike. It has not been a great start defensively for Melian in his first 3 games at shortstop for the Otters. A couple errors and a few mistakes. This ball driven into center. Back is Skinder, and he makes the catch in shallow center. 1 unearned run comes across for Windy City in the top of the 6th. They get a little bit closer. The Otters lead 6-4. The Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
It's time for the dance cam. Brought to you by Drake's. Time to get up and dance because Drake's is your go-to for 24 beers on tap, big burgers, and the freshest sushi in town. Visit Drake's at 1222 Herschel Road or drakescomeplay.com. Now let's dance. Let's see it here on the Otters Digital Network cameras, Otter Vision on the Heritage Board. And as we find all those doing the dance cam at beautiful Bosse Field, get a venue for your next celebration with one of our Grandstand picnics. When you and your guests will receive an exclusive Otters Special Edition hat. If you'd like to be a part of an upcoming Evansville Otters home game, it's simple. Go to EvansvilleOtters.com and call our front office at 812-435-8686.
Frontier League Baseball on Flow Sports is presented by Old National Bank, your bank for Evansville, your bank for life. Otters leading 6-4 as we move to the bottom of the 6th inning on a balmy Thursday night from the River City. Justin Felix leading things off in the bottom of the 6th inning, and Austin Morozes, his first appearance for the Thunderbolts this season, trying to just keep on eating out for the Thunderbolts out of the bullpen. Second full inning of work. Felix takes the first pitch inside for a ball. Roses on the far right side of the rubber, just barely the blue socks showing over the pants, winds home, and Felix takes outside for a ball, 2-0.
What do you think about that hybrid sock look that Morozes is rocking in comparison to the other options we talked about?
Well, he's found a middle ground, and I can appreciate that in today's society. Comes the 2-0 to Felix. He fouls it out off the side of his leg, and he gimpily trots away from home plate, trying to get that stinger out. Others might argue, though, that he can't make up his mind, and this is a poor compromise.
Not gonna lie, a lot of times where he has them, you asked about comfort, that's probably the most comfortable, is to put him somewhere in between.
It's not all the way down where it's not breathable at all, but it's not so jacked up that you've got too much pant up on the top of your leg. Comes the 2-1 to Felix. It's swung on and driven high in the air down the left field line, but well foul and sure to be a victim to another windshield, 2-2.
Yeah, thankfully, I could not personally find a parking spot this evening, so I'm not even in one of the Bosse Field lots.
Granted, if someone hit a home run over the Crawford Door building, your car might be gonzo.
Very far if that were to happen.
That'd be Kyle Schwarber type territory. 2-2 to Felix is found straight back. I did get the unfortunate news that an intern did indeed have
you researched it.
Have their car, of course won't want to share the name on the air. It was the side of their windshield. It does need to be repaired, but it is drivable, luckily. So they're going to reset the pitch clock. 2-2 count here to Felix. Nobody out in the bottom of the 6th. Otters leading by 2. The great owner of the Otters, Bill Bussing, is actually going to pay for the windshield to be repaired. Felix fouls it straight back. I think they should find out whoever hit the ball and make them pay for the new windshield, right?
Or you could, if you want to look at it from a glass half full perspective, you just got a free convertible. I mean, some wind in your face.
Well, the problem with this is it didn't smash the whole windshield. It's just a ball-shaped crack. 2-2 outside and a full count. If they smash the whole windshield, though, then you'd have glass all over your car. That probably wouldn't be enough to make it a convertible. And you don't want wind blowing in your face. You want wind blowing above you into the car.
You're finding too many flaws in my perspective.
Blowing in your face on a highway sounds very uncomfortable as Felix calls time and resets here on a payoff pitch. That'd be like, I guess if you ride like the open air Jeeps or an ATV where you put everything down and there's wind blowing everywhere. It's certainly an exhilarating experience, but I want to take the family in a minivan like that as the 3-2 is low for ball 4.
That's it to your game. Sidewalk, cafe and bar.
Felix aboard for the second time today. Base hit in the 4th, a walk here in the 6th. First base runner that Morozes has allowed to reach. So it brings up Kelvin Melion, the shortstop. It's 1 for 2 today, base hit in the 4th. Playing umpire Preston Childers with a few words for the catcher Jonathan Waite, waiting for the pitch clock to start. Now we're underway in this battle between Morosis and Melion. Morosis on the far right side of the rubber, kicks and throws. Melion shows bunt, throws it back. Check over to first as the catcher Waite threw down, but Felix wasn't too far from the bag, just steps back on the first base pillow. Otters leading by 2 here in the bottom of the 6th. 1 on and nobody out. Morosis winds and throws, and Melion, lays down a bunt. It's a good one, picked up by the third baseman Martina. Throws to first in time. 1 away. Good bunt down the right field line. Down the third base line, I should say. Martina with the play, but Felix does go to second with 1 out, and it paves the way to turn things over to the Edward Jones leadoff batter, Noah Myers. And also paved the way for Richie Sexton to come out and take Morosis out of the ballgame. So a new pitcher coming in for Windy City with a runner at second and 1 out. 6-4, Otters in front in the bottom of the 6th. But be right back in a moment on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Windy City called the Volt at 16, Adrian Reese. In to pitch the battery. Reese is on the mound. Wait, behind the plate. Number 9, that's the answer on the repair east. 2319 North River, 12475 9000. Tell them same from the Otters. See you.
Adrian Reese is the new pitcher for Windy City here in the bottom of the 6th with 1 out and a runner at second. Second time we've seen Reese this week here in Evansville, lefty from Moline, Illinois. Reese on the season, making his 8th appearance, 2.35 ERA and 7 2/3, just 3 earned runs allowed. Lefty on lefty matchup as he faces Noah Myers. Myers swings at the first pitch and grounds it just foul to the right of the first base back. Reese, a graduate of Murray State. This is first season of independent baseball as Richie Sexton mixing and matching righties and lefty pitchers to try to keep this a 2-run ball game for Windy City. Comes the 0-1. Breaking ball outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Felix is at second, a walk and advancing on a sacrifice bunt with 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. 1-1 outside, 2 balls and 1 strike to Meyer.
And Justin Felix, a really important run there on second. We've seen the Thunderbolts climb their way back into this ball game. Only a 2-run deficit now. 3 would be a much bigger difference.
Comes the 2-1 to Myers. Outside, ball gets away from the catcher. Wait, Felix down to third. The throw is late. Good read by Justin Felix as he takes an extra base on a pass ball. And the Otters have an insurance run 90 feet away.
That's going to bring the Thunderbolts infield back on the grass. We've seen them do that a couple times today, and they know how much another run is worth for the Otters.
3-1 count to Myers. Pitch. Low for ball 4. Myers works a walk. His first time on base today. And it brings up Ethan Skinder, who's 1 for 3 today. Skinder with the longest active hit streak on the Otters, as he's had a hit today. Now a 9-game hit streak for Skinder, playing his best baseball of the season over the last week. Felix at third, Myers at first with 1 out. In the bottom of the 6th, the Otters led by as much as 6 in this ball game. The lead's been cut to 2. First pitch from the southpaw is a strike to Skinder, 0-1. Skinder, as he is every game, is on his balance block before the game. Doing some meditation, some balance work, a little bit of yoga. The 0-1. Inside, 1-1. He does try to look cool while doing it. He'll throw on the backwards hat and the cutoff shirt. Make sure that he's showing he's not a full yogi. He's got some coolness as well. The 1-1. Skinder chops it left side and foul. Yoga and balance, though, has been scientifically shown to be great for athletes and great for mental and physical health. And it's pretty easy. All Skinder has is just one little block he balances on. And the rest is in the mind. Comes the 1-2. Myers goes. The bat goes flying on the ground ball to the short. Matthews throws to first in time for the out. And Felix scores from third to extend the lead for the Otters back to 3. The bat flying out of the hands of Skinder on the ground ball, but somehow he got enough on it to ground it to Matthews. It's an RBI ground out with Felix scoring. 7-4 now, the Otters extend the lead.
I believe that bat actually broke. One of the weirder bat shatterings we've seen. It broke right at the handle. Only the very tip of the handle came off, and that's all that was left in his hand.
Typically you see a broken bat, it goes forward, but that bat flew towards the backstop. So 2 outs in Phillips. It's Myers now at second. First pitch to the lefty, Phillips, a strike. Otters don't have a hit here in the 6th, but they've been able to scratch across a run, extend the lead to 3. Comes the 0-1. Check swing by Phillips on a pitch inside. Did he hold up? Yes, says Reed Hoover. 1-1. Phillips adjusts the helmet, holds it down, taps the outside of the plate, waggles the bat forward and now behind his left shoulder. Waits the pitch, swings and fouls it straight back. 1-2. Phillips reties the batting gloves, wipes away some sweat from his eyes, readjusts the black helmet. Trying to add another RBI to his total. Has one today. He's third in the Frontier League in RBIs. He awaits the 1-2. Here it comes. Swung on and popped up high in the air to right center. Over is the center fielder Spillane. In is Kumulis. And the right fielder makes the grab for the 3rd out of the inning. The Otters add one more. We're through 6. It's 7-4 Evansville on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
We need everyone to make some noise. It is time for a t-shirt can. And if you want a t-shirt here at the ballpark, make some noise. And let our Matthews staff hear you. It's a Cowboys and Christian Thursday. No more spilled beer. No more spilled beer. Watch out. We have a t-shirt can. The top hat. What a crowd we have here on the Windy City Thursday. Skip the line or bank from the comfort of your own home with self-service options and Heritage. Heritage, a proud partner of the Evansville Otters. Call the bullpen. John Beamer. In to pitch. The battery Beamer on the mound. Phillips behind the plate. 23-19 North Paper Road. 812-475-9000.
John Beamer into the ballgame for the Otters here in the 7th. Cloak worked around, allowing 1 run in the 6th. And now it's Beamer's job here in the 7th to keep the Otter lead as they lead by 3. Another Kentucky guy from Hopkinsville making his 6th appearance of the season and his 2nd this week. He was terrific for the Otters in his last outing on Tuesday against the Thunderbolts. Junior Martina leads off here in the 7th, takes the first pitch strike. Cloak in 2 innings pitched against the Thunderbolts struck out 5 Windy City batters. It's allowed just 1 run on the season. It came all the way back on opening day. The 0-1 is low. 1 ball and 1 strike to Martina.
Yeah, Beamer's been so consistent this year. 9.2 innings pitched, only 1 earned run allowed, as you said.
Winds and throws. Martina drives one into right. Baez racing over, can't get there. It hops into the corner. Martina hustling around to second. He'll hold there. A stand-up double to lead off for Junior Martina.
Really just feels like the Thunderbolts will not go away in this game. Just finding a way each inning to get runners in scoring position. They're off the bat of Martina for a double. He's been so clutch this series. But they just will not go away.
It's impressive because the Thunderbolts come in and we're looking at the numbers and we're like, man, this is just a dreadful offensive team. And against one of the better pitching staffs in the Frontier League, they've come in and really hit very well.
That's right, 26 hits on the series so far.
Brent Spillane, who's been their best hitter, the batter, takes a first pitch breaking ball inside for a strike. 0-1, Martina at second, a 3-run ball game here in the top of the 7th. Beamer working out of the stretch. High set with the beige-brown glove. Peeks back at second, a second peek back. Winds and throws, a strike at the knees, 0-2. Beamer was a 29th round pick by the Kansas City Royals out of Wabash Valley Community College. Elected to go to Campbell, where he played a couple seasons with the Camels. The 0-2 is swung on and sent high in the air to center. A few steps in is Quiggle, makes the catch, and Martina will hold it second. Quiggle's got a great arm, files a bullet down to third. Martina will stay put at second.
Yeah, how about that? Martina took 2 hard steps just to draw a throw from Quiggle and maybe test him, look for an error, but Quiggle, man, shows off the arm strength there.
Peyton Isaacson, the first baseman, to the plate with 1 out, and Martina at second. Otters bullpen is quiet at the moment. See if Jake Polancic, if this is a safe situation, can go tonight. He pitched 2 innings last night, working the 9th and then into the 10th. Help get the Otters to the sudden death playoff in the 11th. First pitch from Beamer to the lefty Isaacson, sails outside. A 1-0 to Isaacson, outside 2-0. Series on the line tonight. The Otters trying to win their first rubber match of the season. 0-1 with the first game coming all the way back on opening weekend against Washington. Windy City looking to win their 3rd series in a row. The 2-0 to Isaacson, fouled left side out of play. Beamer winds and throws. Slice foul by Isaacson. It bounces off the edge of the fence right by Big Cat's corner. It's 2-2. It's a Big Cat's corner night tonight at Bosse Field. Big Cat over there is a great local business owner of the great bars here at Bosse Field and helps supply some of the cooks here at Bosse. Gets a few games this season it's all his, that section all the way down the right field line as Isaacson takes high for a ball for a full count. Bring in as many family and friends as he'd like down the right field line and has a lot of fun. One of the great fans, no doubt, of the Otters. Payoff pitch coming to Isaacson. Beamer winds and throws, swing and a miss by Isaacson.
Good news. Our Hoosier Lottery strikeout down at the end, sections 9 and 10.
2 away. Beamer used that strikeout to get 5 of his 6 outs against Windy City on Tuesday, and he's back to the K here on Thursday night. Mikey Yonamine, the DH, ready batter to the plate with 2 outs and Martina at second. Beamer on the right side of the rummer, kicks and throws, swing and a miss by Yonamine. The breaking ball by Beamer's got some really good stuff to it.
Yeah, it's just falling off the plate, and he's been able to utilize it well, put that leadoff double behind him.
The 0-1 outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Talk about the NCAA tournament yesterday and many of the teams in it. Beamer's Camels are in the tournament. They had a fantastic year. Been a really good team out of the Big South the last couple seasons. Comes the 1-1, swing and a miss. A fastball up at 90 miles per hour. 1-2. Beamer a strike away from getting us to the stretch, and the Otters maintaining a 3-run lead. He kicks and throws low, 2-2. Ball trickles away from Phillips, but not far enough for Martina to think twice over at second. 7-4 lead for the Otters here in the top of the 7th inning. Evansville trying to secure this rubber match victory. Another 2-2, breaking ball, paints the corner, and freezes Yonamina. What a pitch from Beamer, back-to-back strikeouts to get the Otters through 7. We'll stretch here at Bosse Field. Evansville leads 7-4. The Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
We have a call to the bullpen. Windy City. 22, Justin Miller in to pitch the battery. Miller is on the mound, way behind the plate. Answer out of Repair East, 2319 North River Road, or 812-475-9000. Tell them the same from the Otters, St. U.
To the bottom of the 7th from Bosse Field. It's a 7-4 lead for the Otters over the Windy City Thunderbolts here on a warm Thursday night from the ballpark. Justin Miller is the new pitcher in for the Thunderbolts, righty from Fresno. First pitch by Baez, swung on and right at the shortstop Matthews, who makes a jumping grab, one away.
Center fielder, number 19, Kona Quiggle.
Brings up Kona Quiggle with one out here in the bottom of the 7th. Christian Sexton using a lot of different relievers here, not leaving guys out for long. Instead opting to just use a lot of different guys out of the bullpen. Certainly a different philosophy. The pitching coach, Jared Wright, is not with the Thunderbolts this week, so it's Richie Sexton making all the decisions. Quiggle takes the first pitch, strike at the knees.
Yeah, and it's a decision you got to make. Do you want to let someone get comfortable on the mound, go a couple innings in middle relief, or you want to throw a brand new look at this Otters team that's been hot at the plate every inning?
1 inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Sexton's a really interesting story for Windy City, and if you're a baseball fan that's maybe a little bit older than us and Lucas, you might remember him from his big league days. The 1-1 by Quiggle, fouled away, 1-2. 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th, 7-4 lead for the Otters. Richie Sexton's nickname actually is Big Sexy. That's a fantastic nickname. He's 6'7". Quite the lanky fellow, and was a 2-time All-Star with the Milwaukee Brewers back in the early 2000s, including in 2003 when he hit 45 home runs in a season.
Wow, how about that? Certainly earned his nickname then.
306 home runs in 12 years. The Brewers were certainly his highlight years, but was on few different MLB teams. The 1-2 swing and a miss by Quiggle, 2 away. He had never, though, been a head coach, a manager at any level in baseball before Windy City hired him. He'd been working for the past decade or so back in Oregon as the director of ops of a high school baseball team in Bend, Oregon. But this is his first actual head coaching experience. Former big leaguer. Heard he's a blast to be around as Omar Reyes is the batter. Takes the first pitch high, 1-0. I was talking with Mark, the voice of the Thunderbolts. Just very positive, upbeat guy, and he's been a welcome addition to a locker room where the Thunderbolts have struggled the last couple seasons as Reyes takes a strike at the belt, 1-1. One of a couple big league managers now in the Frontier. They bring some intrigue to the ballpark as well for fans, having a former big leaguer there. It's the 1-1 to Reyes is high and tight, 2-1. And obviously a great mentor too for some of these players that still would. The dream goal is to make it to the big leagues, and they can talk to someone that didn't just make it there, but had a lot of success as a 2-time All-Star. The 2-1 swung on and missed by Reyes, 2-2.
Yeah, certainly can provide all types of insight to these players who want to be in the shoes that he was in and successful in. And I'm sure he faced a wide variety of scenarios on his path to that stature.
2-2 swing and a miss by Reyes. So Miller, a great 7th. He sends the Otters down in order. 7-4 lead for Evansville. We go to the 8th on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports. Frontier League Baseball on Flow Sports is brought to you by Bud Light. 7-4 lead for the Evansville Otters over the Windy City Thunderbolts. We go to the top of the 8th inning from the Pocket City. The Otters closing out a 3-game homestand against the Thunderbolts. Dan Robinson leads off the top of the 8th, takes the first pitch outside from John Beamer, working now his 2nd inning of work. The 1-0 from Beamer is fouled straight back, 1-1. Beamer pitched 2 innings against the Thunderbolts on Tuesday and doing the same here on Thursday. Beamer the high sets, winds and throws. Sliced right side and caught by Olsen. First baseman snares up the glove and steals a line drive hit from Robinson.
How about that 2-hit day for Olsen, and fielding his position really well over there at first base as well.
Olsen's been the ultimate utility guy for the Otters with 3 different positions, but he's played it the most at first with his 9th start today. Makes an excellent play there. As Carson Matthews stands in and takes a first pitch outside for a ball from Beamer. Shortstop's 1 for 3 today. Beamer winds and throws. Matthews swings, grounds one right to the third baseman Reyes. Gloves it across the diamond to first. 2 down. Beamer, after the leadoff double to Martinez, retired 5 Thunderbolts in a row. 7-4 lead for the Otters here in the top of the 8th. The Otters played at 6 of their 7 runs in the span of 3 innings, 1 in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd, 3 in the 4th. First pitch to the lefty, Will Riley, is a strike.
As you said, it'll be interesting to see what the Otters do in the 9th inning if this stays a 3-run game.
There's the 0-1. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Polancic obviously pitched 2 innings last night, went in the 9th when the game was tied, stayed in for the 10th. Got the job done, but...
Comes the 1-1. Breaking ball on the outside corner, 1-2. The life of the closer certainly can be pitching on back-to-back days if it's a save opportunity, but because he pitched 2 innings yesterday and 2 long, challenging innings for Polancic, he might just not have the lively enough arm to be used again today. Beamer is rolling right now. The 1-2 to Riley. Swung on, popped up into shallow left. A few steps in for Myers, coming in more, and making the grab. A quick top of the 8th. Beamer sends him down in order. It's a 3-run lead for the Otters. We go to the bottom of the 8th on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
A-Zip Legends Zip Time. We've got our legends. Oh, they are there. They're ready to go. We got 2 of them ready. If you guys are ready, get set and go. Oh, there's all 3 of them.
We got all 3 tonight.
Good deal. Here we go. It's a clear leader, but will he hold on? Is it going to be the old handy trick? No, it's start to finish. It's a win by a mile. Right once. Whoa. Yes, right. 2 in a row. Right. And some lucky fans just score some tickets thanks to our legends here for the A-Zip Legends Zip.
Back at Bosse Field as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning here. Flow Sports and the Otters Digital Network. The Otters leading 7-4. They are 3 outs away from winning this series. We'll take a look ahead for both teams. The Otters this weekend will be in Joliet with a 6:35 pitch tomorrow against the Slammers in suburban Chicago. It's 6:05 on Saturday and 1:05 for a Sunday matinee against the Slammers, who are currently 7-10 entering today in the Frontier League. Last place in the Frontier League West. The Otters will return home for a 6-game homestand next week, 3 against Tri-City, and then a big weekend series against Schaumburg. Jacob Olsen will lead things off here in the bottom of the 8th. First pitch from Miller, who remains out for a second inning of work, is inside to Olsen. Windy City will play a really quirky schedule. They haven't had a day off in nearly 2 weeks at this point. We'll play 2 games against Gateway at home, Friday and Saturday, and then have Sunday and Monday off. 1-0 to Olsen, swing and a miss, 1-1. Miller at the belt, winds and throws. It's outside to Olsen, 2-1. It's the only game still going across the Frontier League. Gateway had to hold on today. Lake Erie made it a little close in the latter innings, but the Grizzlies win 6-4, and they tie the Otters for the longest win streak in the Frontier League this season with 8. So Olsen takes high, 3-1. So it's going to be up to Windy City tomorrow to try to end the win streak. There's our answer to the 9th. Kevin Davis is warming in the Otters' pen. Though, it looks like actually Polancic is right next to him. Interesting. So they're both warming up. Olsen swings, grounds one to the second baseman. Riley on the edge of the right field grass, gloves it to first. In time, 1 out.
Yeah, and we see both of them warming up, as you mentioned. That may be a decision that Max Peterson is waiting to make, depending on if this is a save situation or not. Have to see if the Otters plate any more runs this inning.
Good point. Only wanting to use Polancic if they feel they have to. Davis is the setup man in the bullpen lineup if the Otters played the game exactly how they wanted it every day. But, of course, that so often does not happen. 1 out, nobody on for Felix. Ready batter swings and takes the first pitch for a strike. 0-1. He doesn't swing. I had my photo getting taken, and it
doesn't happen to us often, does it, Griffin?
No. Attention is on the players, not me. Felix held up but took a strike anyways, the 0-1, and he takes high, 1-1. 1 out, nobody on. Bottom of the 8th. 3-run lead for the Otters. The 1-1 is missing outside, 2-1. Joliet, who the Otters see tomorrow, won today at home, 4-2 over the New Jersey Jackals. They will take that series from New Jersey. 2-1 to Felix, swing and a miss, 2-2. Sussex County continues their hot start to the season in the East. They walk off Quebec 5-4 in 10 innings. And the historic day is not going to happen today for Empire State at 5 wins, trying to match their 6 from all of last season. They have fallen to New York 17-5. 2-2 to Felix. Outside corner, strike 3 call. Good breaking ball from Miller. He has retired all 5 Otter batters he's faced.
Yeah, he's looked dominant out there on the mound. 3 strikeouts in 5 batters faced. Really good bounce back for him. He came into this game with a 8.22 ERA, but he's looked very solid in the last 2 innings of this game.
Kevin Melion up to the plate with 2 outs and nobody on. Ready Venezuelan takes a first pitch outside. Davis and Polancic both still throwing. It's a safe situation right now with a 3-run lead for the Otters. 7 runs on 10 hits and an error for Evansville. 4 runs on 8 hits and an error for Windy City. 1-0 from Miller. High, 2 balls and no strikes. Elsewhere in the Frontier League West, Schaumburg takes the series from Ottawa, winning the rubber match 13-3 north of the border. Schaumburg might be on the Otters in the standings. A game and a half back of Evansville. 2-0, bouncing low and in the dirt. 3-0 to Melion. The last Frontier League West score, Florence beats Washington, and the Wild Things just really surprising struggle of the last few weeks continues. They're just 2-8 in their last 10. The 3-0 misses outside for ball 4 to Melion.
It's certainly been surprising to see after especially that performance they put on here at Bosse Field.
I mean, they look like the favorites again.
Yeah.
And obviously, it was one series, but pitching and hitting, it was all together for Washington. They went on a 7-game losing streak last week, and they're just struggling to find anything with their bats right now. Melion aboard, back to the top of the order, and Myers. 1 on and 2 outs here on the bottom of the 8th. The Otters trying to close out the game in the 9th, but looking for some more insurance first. First pitch to the lefty. Myers swung on, driven high in the air to right. Columbus back at the wall, looking up. See you later. Second home run of the series, 3rd of the season for Noah Myers.
How about that? Myers has been such a spark plug in this series, was just a triple shy of the cycle in game 1. More late inning electricity provided by the former Big South first team all selection.
Gets the light show really going here with the lights, with it pitch blackout. I think it's the first time we've had a home run this late. It's been fully pitch black to really get the light show in full effect. And Myers with a big blast out to right to likely put the game away for the Otters. Jake Polancic goes and sits down. No longer a safe situation. Kevin Davis will remain warming up. Ethan Skinder is the batter. It's a 1-1 count now to Skinder. Second home run for Myers at the 3-run home run, as Lucas mentioned, on Tuesday, part of a 5 RBI day and now a 6-hit series. The 1-1, the outside corner to Skinder, 1-2. All credit to that. Me and Myers were Uber buddies in Quebec City. Clearly something rubbed off well on him, and he's had a power surge this week. The 1-2, Skinder sends high in the air to right. Back is Comulos. A few steps from the track makes the catch, and the side is retired. Noah Myers gives the Otters some insurance for the 9th, a 2-run home run, and Evansville leads 9-4 on the Evansville Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
All right, now it's time for the Indiana 811 Holy Moly Shuffle. Everybody keep your eyes on the big screen as we shuffle Holy Moly around. I've even got Scarlett who's going to help us out this time around. Here we go. 3 mountains of dirt and 1 Holy Moly. Which is he going to be in tonight? Is he? He's in 2. Now he's in 1. Now he's in 3. Everybody keep your eye on 3 as we shuffle them up. What is it? Is it 1, 2, or 3? Scarlett says 3. It's 3! Thank you for playing, everybody. The Holy Moly Shuffle is brought to you by Indiana 811, a free service. They can prevent costly damages to underground utilities. Know what's below? Call 811 or visit 811now.com at least 2 full working days before every digging project, no matter how large or how small.
We have a call to the bullpen. Kevin Davis in to pitch. The battery Davis on the mound. Ups behind the plate. Pitcher catcher battery. 23-19. Rugby to Barodi. 1-2 Horseman 5-9,000. The answer on repair east.
Otters leading 9-4 as we go to the 9th inning. 3 more outs needed for Evansville to close the ball game out. Kevin Davis has the job here in the 9th. He faces Jonathan Waite, who takes a first pitch strike to start the top of the 9th. Davis pitched on Tuesday against the Thunderbolts, an inning to close that ball game out. Allowed 1 hit and struck out the side. 1 pitch, fouled straight back, 0-2. 7 appearances for Davis on the season. 7 1/3 innings pitched with 13 strikeouts. The ERA is high at over 7, but it's largely because of 1 5-run outing he gave up against Quebec. Outside of that, just 1 run given up on the season in his 6 other outings. 6'9" righty, kicks and throws. Beautiful breaking ball, freezes Waite. 1 away. It finished in the heart of the zone, but it was way outside of the zone while Waite was doing just that for it.
That's right, disgusting breaking ball there after he shows that 6'9" figure can provide some velocity on his fastballs and makes his off-speed that much more effective.
Comulos, batter, takes outside for a ball. Otters 2 outs away from taking the series from Windy City, going to 12-6 on the season. Davis winds and throws. It's outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Both teams will head back to Chicago. Windy City will leave tonight. The Otters will leave early tomorrow morning to play tomorrow night against Joliet. Comes the 2-0 from Davis. It's at the knees, 2 balls and 1 strike. All 3 games on the Evansville Otters Digital Network over the next 3 days. We will unfortunately not have the simulcast on Flow Sports per the setup up at the Slammers ballpark, but you can still tune in there and either listen to the excellent Joliet broadcast team as swung on and missed by Comulos, 2-2. Or you can turn on the broadcast. You can sync it up with the YouTube on your own. Nice thing with the YouTube stream is if I'm a little ahead, you can just stop and then wait to time me up. Either way, we'd love to have you join us on Flow Sports or the Otters Digital Network this weekend. Swing and a miss by Comulos. He chases a pitch down on the dirt. Back-to-back strikeouts for Davis here in the 9th, and the Otters an out away from winning the series. A 3-run home run, or the 2-run home run by Myers, taking drama out of the 9th inning, but the Otters certainly appreciating it. Martina up here with 2 outs and nobody on in the top of the 9th. Martina, base hit, and a double today along with a run. First pitch to the righty. Fastball right down the middle for a strike. 92.
Yeah, pretty good series put together by Martina, a guy who looks like he might start filling in well in that leadoff role in a lineup that struggled so much coming into this series to hit the ball.
0-1, flied foul. Otters are a strike away here in the top of the 9th.
Choose the best, never regret it.
Davis looking for the final strike. High set, winds and throws. It's outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 6:35, first pitch tomorrow up in Joliet. 6:05 on Saturday and 1:05 on Sunday. All Central Time first pitches up in Chicagoland. 1-2 coming from Davis. He winds and throws. It swung on a flare, hit into center. Myers in, and it will one-up in front of him for a base hit for Martina to keep the game going.
Center fielder, 24.
Blue base hit by Martina into center. Brings up Spillane, the center fielder, has a double today. He's 1 for 4.
How about that? Martina's 3rd hit of the day. Also had a really good piece of situational hitting where he got an RBI on a fielder's choice, and he actually went on to score after that at bat as well.
Righty batter Spillane. Davis just needs one more out. He winds and throws. 6'9" righty misses outside for a ball, 1-0. And not many guys can top the height of Richie Sexton, Big Sexy, 6'7" over in the Windy City dugout, but Kevin Davis can do just that with his towering 6'9" frame. Winds and throws high, 2-0. Davis comes home. A breaking ball outside, and he's behind 3-0 to Spillane. Counts. Kick and a throw outside for ball 4. It rolls to the backstop, but it doesn't matter. Spillane goes to second after 2 strikeouts to start the outing for Davis. A base hit, and now we'll walk to Spillane. 2 on with 2 out, and it brings up Isaacson, the first baseman. Still a 5-run lead here for the Otters in the 9th. Isaacson, first baseman, 0 for 4 today. Lefty batter to face the righty pitcher, Kevin Davis.
Tonight's attendance, 3,144. 3-1-4-4.
First pitch to Isaacson, swing and a miss. 0-1. Isaacson taps the outside of the plate, inside of the plate. Points the bat towards Davis. He's really choking up very high on the barrel. So comes the 0-1. It's outside, 1-1. Got probably a good handheld where he could fit another hand in between his lower hand and where the barrel of the bat is. High choke on a light blue bat. The 1-1 to Isaacson. Swung on and grounded right to Skinder. Gloves it, throws to first for the 27th out of the ball game and a series win for Evansville. 9-4, the Otters clinched the series over Windy City. Collection of strong starting pitching by Zach Smith and timely hitting. The Otters put 11 hits up on the board and 9 runs. It's more than enough to knock off the Thunderbolts and give the Otters their 4th series victory in the last 5 tries.
Yeah, Otters moved to 9-3 at home. Bosse Field has brought a lot of success for the Evansville Ball Club. And how about this, Griffin? A hit from all 9 batters in the lineup tonight from the Otters. It doesn't get much more balanced than that, and Andy McCauley's got to love seeing that before the Otters head back out on the road.
Been some impressive depth by Evansville the last couple of weeks. Getting a lot of production from a lot of guys in the lineup, and they do just that tonight. Extra base hits were a big part of the name of the game as well for the Otters, as they had 5 extra base hits out of their 11 hits today and win 9-4. Zach Smith gets the win as well. It arguably was his least sharpest start of the season, but he still pitches well. 5 innings, just that 3-run 5th, and he goes to now 3-0 on the season.
That's right. Still looking like such a calming presence on the mound. Was working so smoothly through those first 4 innings. I'm sure he's not super pleased with how it ended, but if he can continue to put on performances like that, the way the Otters bats have been hitting, I mean, you're always going to give yourself a chance to win ball games.
He gets the win. Kenny Matthews is handed the loss as the start. Final totals for the Otters, it's 9 runs on 11 hits and 1 error. The Thunderbolts, 4 runs on 9 hits and no errors. Our next Evansville Otters digital broadcast is tomorrow night in Chicagoland against the Joliet Slammers, 6:35 Central Time first pitch. Pregame will start around 6:30 Evansville time. We'll be back here at Bosse Field next Tuesday as the Otters will open up a 6-game homestand. You can also watch tomorrow's game on Flow Sports as well. For our entire fantastic Flow Sports production team back in Houston, our incredible director, Austin Hernandez, my partner, Lucas Daunhauer, I'm Griffin Epstein saying good night from the River City as the Otters take the series from Windy City with a 9-4 victory tonight from Bosse Field.